is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gary Rose Stadium here at the Carl Albert High School, where tonight, as you can see down on the field, the Carl Albert Titans are doing a rapid-fire procession right now. And we're just glad to have you here for this kind of the end of a preview show that the Oklahoma Sports Network has put on. And we are going to be watching the things that are happening here. You're looking at the offense that is on the field, and we are going to just get an opportunity to see them play a little bit. These are some ones and twos in there right now. We're just glad to have you with us this evening. We're going to a little fumble there by one of the Carl Albert backs. Yeah, that will probably not.
Coach Cam will probably grab him around the collar.
Yeah. So
talk to him gently.
Gently. So we're just glad to have you with us. This is I think we decided the other day it was the sixth season for you, Carl Albert, and this is you're starting your third season.
Yes, sir. Yes,
that's right. So Coach Goff is with us this evening, and we are excited for what this new year is going to bring. Carl Albert back-to-back state champions in 22 and 23. And now we want to see what 24 is going to bring, and we're excited. We've got a lot of new names and new players to tell you about, and some things that happened over the summer that I guess we didn't expect, but different things happened, and we've got players all over the field. Going to be a little pitch out here, and he's going to go down.
Don't slide, Devin. Dang.
Yeah. So we're just excited to have you here this evening. We have teams from all over the state. Lawton Eisenhower is here. Edmond Memorial is here. Newcastle is here. And, Coach, help me out with some of the other.
MacArthur.
Oh, MacArthur is here.
And Southmore.
Yeah.
And there's one more.
Memorial?
Heritage Hall.
There we go. The Chargers right down here.
There's 7.
Yeah.
Total, counting Carl Albert.
So they're doing a round robin where they just keep moving on and off and getting good reps. It's not I say this, it's not 100% as far as we're blowing the whistle really early. We're trying to do everything to keep anybody from getting hurt.
Yeah, and especially when the quarterback has the ball.
Right.
And the quarterbacks are all designated.
Yep, they all wearing a specific jersey.
Yeah, you don't want to go into a game your season without a quarterback. Well, that wasn't good.
No, that was a handoff right into the defense. So we do have a few new names to talk to you about. You're going to remember a lot of these names, but one of the new names you're going to see a lot of is a quarterback. He is a senior this year, transferred in here, Daniel Newton. He'll be wearing number 4 in the regular season, but you can't see that now because he's wearing a jersey over that number. 6 foot and 200 pounds. And, Coach, we've been watching him here for the last few minutes.
Yeah,
he's got a good little wiggle to him, doesn't he?
He's got a little bit of wiggle,
yeah,
and he'll run over you.
Yeah.
So at 6 foot and 200, he reminds me of the DeQuasie kid a few years ago, and has probably almost as much speed, if not more, than the DeQuasie kid.
Yep.
Did.
He's not quite as tall as DeQuasie, but you'll see him. He's playing quarterback right now, and
are they filming?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And you'll see him in that blue jersey back there on the left side of the screen, and so we're excited to see. He's going to toss it out here to the outside. That's a familiar number. It's Tristan Haynes, and Tristan's got good hands, good legs.
Yeah. Good balance.
Absolutely. So these are some names that you're going to hear: Tristan Haynes, Trinae Washington,
Marcus
James. Those are all three commits to University of Oklahoma, and real commits now.
Signed on the dotted line, they did.
That's right.
Maddox Wilkerson will be one, if you'll remember.
One of the people that you're going to see when we see the defense play, and he has really been the talk of the coaching room, and that's Caden Davis. You know, Caden's got a motor that just runs 110 mile an hour all the time.
Yeah.
And but he has been doing an incredible job taking on leadership in the locker room, and you know, that's what we expect and out of our seniors, and Caden has stepped up to the plate with that. And the coaches are they just talk a lot about him as being, you know, one of the good leaders for this year's team.
And he's tough.
He is tough. Just a little bit about Daniel Newton. He came in. He is from Edmond, Santa Fe, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And he came in and started working out all summer long. And again, another good leader on this team. The guys like him. He's played hard. He's been here with them all summer long, and has earned a lot of respect from this Carl Albert staff, and a lot of respect from the players as well.
Well, with the moving out of Kevin Sperry back down to the Texas area, Denton Geyer.
Denton Geyer, yeah.
And I talked to a guy the other day and said that he's probably going to be the starter at Denton Geyer, and I'm thinking, well,
right.
He better be.
Yeah. So going to be a drop back. He's going to take it and run. He's going to get out there in the middle. That's Woodring. Woodring got a little playing time last year.
A little bit in the backup role.
Yep.
He's, for 2 years now, has been the holder on the PAT and field goal group. And he's got really good hands, which, you know, he's got to catch a snap from a new center. Right.
Woodring was a little undersized as far as getting in the weight room, but he's done a lot better this summer. 5'10", 175,
yep,
and
that's good.
And looks the part now. Oh, I think I ran right into a wall there.
Yep.
So our filmer's showing you what they do, and so what you see is you see them come in for a play, maybe two, and then off. The coaches talk to them. They send them back in, and right now they're in this offensive possession.
I believe the defense will be on for two, and
yep,
each offense they're located about on the 40-yard line will take a turn at the defense.
Little offsides there.
And normally, blow
yep,
whistles. Normally you don't do a whole lot of stunting in this, but I was noticing that
yeah,
Lawton Ike is doing that.
They've been coming, yeah.
And that's okay. That's how their defense is going to be run.
Sure. We got two wideouts to the left, one to the right. I've got to practice as well.
You're doing good.
This time he's going to toss it over here in the flat. That was intended there for number 5. That's Todd James, senior, 5'11", 160.
Well, if Carl Albert doesn't have anything, they've got some speed.
Yeah, they do have speed. Got a lot of speed, a lot of great skill positions across the group. Now, Carl Albert is going to move off to the sidelines.
They'll be on the defensive side of the ball now.
Yep. Rotate around. This is the final rotation, and then we're going to have the opportunity to see them play some 12-minute halves. So some 6-minute quarters, and it'll be just a quick motion, and that way we'll get an opportunity to see them move up and down the field as well, and that will help. So Carl Albert is on defense now, and again, maybe one of the best defensive backfields in 5A.
That's true.
Going to drop back, hand it off there to number 26 up the middle. He's stuffed up in the middle right there.
Now you got a 6'4", what is Trinae? 6'4", 215-pound safety. That's pretty intimidating.
Yep. That was number 59 on the tackle, and I'm going to mess up this name until I get in the coach's room and figure out what his name really is. But
Kathan Perucci.
Yeah, Perucci. Kathan Perucci. You can say that because you're getting ready to go overseas, and you're going to have to learn all that stuff.
I'm not going to that part of the country.
No.
But, yes, I am.
Yeah, Kathan Perucci.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He's a really good golfer, y'all. He came in last year he's a sophomore now, isn't he?
He's a junior.
He's a junior.
6
he
foot,
came in
240.
last year as a sophomore for Coach John Herbert on the golf team and played really well. I think he was averaging in the 70s. So
going to be a keeper up the middle, and that's what happens.
Boy.
You actually have to tackle there. That was Todd James again. That was no wrapping. That was just throwing a shoulder in, and I guarantee that will be talked about.
Yeah, he'll hear about that one.
Right. Yeah. He didn't even – his arms never came away from his chest.
It looked like they were glued.
Right. All right, so the defense is still out there.
1, 2. See, and
it's going to be a pass. He's going to cut up the middle here, and he would have gotten tackled, I believe.
Well,
because that was Joe Thomas, a junior, 5'11", 210, and he brushed him with his arms, and the whistle didn't blow quick enough, but he did brush him with his arms.
Hey, you don't really want to take quarterbacks all the way to the ground
right.
in these things, so I think they're going to
drop back to pass out in the flat, bring it over.
They call them quick whistles. That's the quarterback. That's also a safety. He has committed to Air Force.
Air Force, that's correct.
And I'm not sure which side of the ball he'll be playing on. He's a good safety also. But
yes.
Good luck breaking in our defensive secondary. But I
was going to say, I think he's probably got the talent, but whether we want him on the field or not.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's kind of like what we used to do. We save our quarterbacks till in the playoffs. And
that's a big running back right there.
A big old boy.
He is. Gets
you hit him in
down.
The legs, it don't matter.
Yep, about a 10-yard gain there, but
Byron
gets taken
Stubbs
down.
On the tackle.
We've got a cameraman up in the booth that is a freshman football player, and I'll get you his name in a little bit. And but he stepped in a pinch here, and so we're really thankful to have him. That was a great defensive play there. Played off the man that was going to be the blocker, and both guys are open there for the tackle.
That's for those of you who are novices at this. That's called a zone read, and you fake the zone up inside, and if you get the correct numbers, then you throw it out here. But our guys they did a good job.
4-man front for the Titans. Going to be a keeper around this other side, a little bootleg. He's a pretty good-sized quarterback.
He is big.
That was Christian Oku, another guy that's put on some weight.
Yeah, he looks good, doesn't he?
Christian, he's got speed to burn.
Well, and we talked last year. We'd like to see him and Tristan race straight up.
Yep.
But I don't. It'd be really close.
Yep. Anyway, Christian Oku, which is a historical name here at Carl Albert,
yeah.
But he's put on. He's up to 170, and last year, if he weighed $150, I'd be surprised.
I think that's what it was.
So,
yeah.
He's put on some good weight over the summer, and he needed it, and he didn't lose any speed.
Does that say 58 or 59 on this end down here?
That
has to be 58.
58, yeah.
And we don't have 58.
No, I've got a 58, LeBron Royale.
You do?
Yeah.
I wonder why I don't.
I don't know.
57, 59.
You don't, but we'll
yeah, he's
we'll get
LeBron
yours fixed.
Royale is another good-looking kid.
Absolutely.
will make a player for Carl Albert. He's
6 foot 210,
and he's a sophomore.
LeBron is a junior. Got a lot of juniors, few sophomores. 4-man front again. Linebacker's creeping up. He's going to go ahead and come in, throw across the middle. You know, a lot of people would have a problem with that. Darian Thomas is number 32. He did a good job at just breaking down, not letting the guy just take off on him.
Yep.
And when you can break down and give time for helpers to come.
If you can make him slow down a little bit, the troops will be coming. One of the things that Carl Albert is very well known for, even throughout the state, is how they pursue the ball. And that comes from drills on the practice field every day.
Carl Albert still on defense here.
Counter.
Yep.
You better not.
Drug down from the backside.
You're about to get a ride on that guy.
Yep. And that's 58 again. That's LeBron Royale. Our defensive signal caller out there is number 22, Bo Davis. Now, he is a sophomore, and he's 5'10". No, he's 6'2", 195. Good-looking kid.
Bo Davis.
Yeah. Going to be a pass. Throws out there a little bit out of range. That time, that was Christian Oku that was defending. Maybe should have stayed on his feet. He might have been able to get out there. As always, Coach, we talk about we're having to regrow an offensive line and regrow a defensive line because, Carl Albert is one of those teams that we play a lot of seniors because we like them being in the system for a couple of years.
That's right.
So that they actually understand that when you're down there on the line, it's not just line up and go at them. There's a lot of detail in the offensive line, footwork, and that's a nice little hole there to throw into.
Yeah. That's called the hole route.
Yep.
How about that? No, that's an in cut or a curl. We used to have a number tree, and it went from 1 to 10 or 9, and even numbers were in cuts and odd numbers were out cuts. So that's how you call offensive plays sometimes. Pass routes.
Nick Hill was in there, number 77. He's a pretty good-sized guy to put in there for a run stopper, 6'1", 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And so we're going to see a lot of moving parts here the first few weeks. And as we –
Nick's also a transfer.
Yes.
From McGinnis, I do believe. So now they're coming off, and there will be 2 teams that will stay out, I think. But I don't know who's on the first group. Or are they rotating? No, they're not rotating.
No, I think I believe the first group is going to be Lawton Ike and Heritage Hall.
That'd be good.
I'm pretty sure that's who it's going to be. And then the second group will be Lawton Mack and Southmore. And
I was going to say, I don't even see Ike. They're down at that far end.
Yeah, and then that third group, Edmond Memorial versus Newcastle, and then Newcastle versus CA, and then CA versus Edmond Memorial. That'll be a 3-team play there.
Right.
So.
Is that the last one?
Yeah. They're finishing up on their rotation over here, on their quick hit rotation. So we are happy to be here with you this evening. We are here at the luxury of the Lawton Chamber of Commerce. They have donated the money to make this happen, and we're just happy to be able to show it to you. This is kind of the sneak peek of teams, not just in 5A, but 4A and 6A. And
2 6As, is that correct?
2 6As.
Yeah. A couple of 4As. And the rest are 5As.
Well, Heritage Hall is actually a 3A school that has to play 4A.
Oh, okay.
Because
of their
because of their success.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, And they're up there against Edmond right now.
Well, and Edmond is coached by a former Midwest City Bomber, Justin Matthews.
Oh.
And Justin was the head football coach there, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago, and then I don't know what happened. And then came back and was an assistant, and now he's back to being the head coach.
All right. Well, Heritage Hall, our cameraman's showing you the nice building over there at the Carl Albert Middle School right now. But Heritage Hall has come off, or Edmond and Heritage Hall came off, and now we've got Edmond Memorial in MacArthur. So we're getting ready. We're going to step aside here. We'll take a little break, and we'll be back with you here in just a moment on your Carl Albert Titan, Oklahoma Sports Network. With you here at the Carl Albert Titan Oklahoma Sports Network, and we're again just happy to be here with you for this scrimmage. We're getting ready to finish up this round of quick hits here, and when that happens, then we're going to have the opportunity to see some regular full field scrimmage going on
with officials.
Yes,
We've
that's
seen
right.
A few officials show up.
They have to scrimmage as well.
They do. They have
right.
to get warmed up.
Yep.
Yep.
So they've got to get ready to go and make it happen. So the Carl Albert team, if I'm right, I'm pretty sure that they just went back over to their locker room because they're not going to be out for a little while. So
in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope it's air conditioned.
I'm not sure if it's in. It is now. It is now. It didn't used to be, boy.
Yeah. No, they're in. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
coming out now.
Yeah. So they're going to go in the locker room and they're going to hang out in there and they're going to listen to you and I talk until it's time for them to come out. That's So not the team, but there's going to be a couple of coaches that are listening so that they don't have to worry about coming out here. They're going to go back. They're going to get a peanut butter sandwich and get ready for their time to come out here and scrimmage. And we ought to see a little bit of live hitting. We're not going to show too much.
Yeah.
But see a little bit of live action going on here.
Well, and we won't have rosters for these other teams.
No.
So I mean,
you're
we'll
going to
call
hear
out things like, "Oh, number 65 did a good job right
there."
Yeah,
you're going to hear us say that's a good-looking kid.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm going to, if you'll talk just a minute.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go up there and ask him to kind of focus on the field. And we're getting ready to have our first two actions coming up right here. Let me go up there.
And it'll be Lawton Mack and
I had that up here just a second ago.
And Heritage Hall. Is that right?
Yeah, it'll be Lawton Ike and Heritage Hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
The format that you just saw, we used to call rapid fire. And that's where you'd have two teams on offense and one team on defense. Actually, two teams on defense. And then they would switch off every other play, vice versa. And they got a lot of good opportunities to do that.
Many cheerleaders that attended the Carl Albert High School Cheer Clinic.
And again, this
We would like to thank them and their
this
parents
part of the
for
scrimmage
participating and supporting
will
the
be
varsity cheer program.
just like a game,
This is
except
one
it'll
of
be a
our
little bit
biggest
shorter.
fundraisers, and the money will go towards our cheer competitions this year. We have two performances tonight, one from pre-K through second grade and one from third through fifth grade.
You can see Lawton Ike warming up down on the right-hand side. And I don't see Heritage Hall. Do you?
Okay, let's hear it for our pre-K through second mini cheerleaders.
All right.
I believe Heritage Hall's right down here on this far right down here.
Oh, I just didn't see him.
So
I didn't lean
got-
far enough forward.
we've got some cheerleaders out there in the middle
Yeah.
of the field, and
Pre-K through something.
yeah, and they've been working with the high school cheerleaders and the middle school cheerleaders. So,
Your music is on.
Coach Goff, I'm really kind of I've been to a couple of these. We did one last year.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I got here at about 5:30, I have to tell you, I was pretty shocked at the number of people that were in the stands.
Yes.
This place was full,
Very nice.
and so
I don't know that they charged. I have no idea if they charged money to get in or
I
not.
think they did.
Did they?
Yeah,
Well, they made a little money then.
yeah. And they're gonna. I know that they're gonna feed the kids. They're gonna do a lot of things after it's over. They get some watermelon and
The guy from Performance Course,
okay.
wish I could remember his name.
I can see his face, but
Big old strong
yeah.
looking guy. You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about?
that guy. Yeah.
He's out down at the far end cooking hot dogs right now.
Okay.
And maybe burgers. I'm not sure if they get one of each or what.
Well, I know that I saw a large cooker being rolled in here earlier. So
It's down there by the track stuff.
okay. Did you park down there tonight?
I did.
Okay,
I
good.
parked right next to Vinny. I was hoping
Yeah.
I hope he wouldn't take my truck. They're just alike.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so that was that was our cheerleaders, and we've got another group of cheerleaders coming out now. These look a little bit older than that first set. You know, one of the things we talk about when we talk about Friday Night Lights and is that it really is a show.
It is.
And one of the, I love the football aspect of it, but I also have to remember that halftime is meant for the band.
Yep.
We've got a spirit club that runs flags up and down this track.
That's true.
We've got pom-pom girls that work out hard every single afternoon.
Yep.
We've got cheerleaders that are working out hard every single afternoon. And so it is a complete performance all the way around. And a football game goes on out there on the field while all that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and talking about the band, I always like watching the band because my son was in the band for 4 years at Carl Albert High School and was his drum major his last 2 years, and I was just so proud of him for doing all that, and to be able to play. It was my wish when I was growing up that I could have been a drummer at some point in time. Well, that's what he did.
Yeah.
How about that?
And did you play an instrument at all?
Heavenly, no.
Okay, well.
I didn't have I was one of those kids that wanted to be outside playing and roughhousing and all that stuff all the time.
That was my deal.
So no, I didn't. I mean, plus we didn't have enough money to do any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah, my brother played an instrument. My sister played an instrument, and I played my nose. I can pick it or blow it, either one.
Oh, there you go.
So that was it. I wish that I actually always wanted to learn to play the piano.
I did too.
And I still could, I think. I don't think that's out of the range of possibility, but
can't teach an old dog.
Yeah, there you go. Eric Sherem is in here this evening. He is the proud chairperson of the Oklahoma Sports Network. I don't know what to call you. You're
boss.
You're the boss. You're the big guru. Yeah.
Chef, bottle washer.
Yeah.
Chief.
Yeah.
Chief bottle washer.
Tonight, our producer went down, so he helped get the thing off get the computer up and running, and is helping produce this evening. I did play the commercial for you, though, and, yeah, we did get all that in. We have talked about the Lawton Chamber of Commerce doing the scrimmage this evening, and we're excited to have that. Okay, so we've got some officials down on the field now, finally.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. And we've got Lawton Ike on the other side. Heritage Hall is coming over here on this side. And so we'll see if a little more sustained action now. And
these will be 12 minutes. Is that what you said?
That's right, 12-minute halves.
Halves.
Yeah.
And then a 2-minute break in between.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the officials. Officials are in very short demand.
That's right.
There's not very many of them, and it has even messed with the scheduling a little bit because
exactly right.
If you want a group of officials on Friday night, you may have to adjust and play on Thursday night.
Right, which is actually what happened to us. But this next week is two things happen. University of Oklahoma has a football game on Friday night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so our scrimmage is now on Thursday, but that also makes it, because that is week 0.
Yes.
And a lot of teams will be playing on week 0 next week. So
we have the last 2 or 3 years.
2 3 years, yeah. We've played, but not this year. I'll pull up on the computer as well. We'll talk a little bit during some of these pre-games here as we get ready. So now,
it's
Eric?
one of the things on kickoffs in a scrimmage that you do everything, you line up correctly and all that stuff, but you're not going to run it back.
Right.
And
yeah, just going to get the chance to kick, and he's going to
field it, and that's going to be it.
He hopes it goes in. Yeah, that might have not been the best decision he ever made, but so. Eric, you're from the Lawton area. You know this Lawton Ike team a little better than we do.
Yeah.
And anything that we ought to be looking for with the team in blue this evening?
Okay.
You're right here.
Okay, right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, number one is Hertz. He's coming back from an injury. He had an ACL last year, and it was early on. So it's good to get him back. You got a seasoned quarterback that's been there for 2 years. And then you got this Sherry Sheridan wearing number 10, and he I know they're on defense right now, and he's just made a tackle right there. He was one of the OSN newcomers of the year, and he himself said that he came out of nowhere. I mean, no one expected it, and he didn't expect it himself, and he just played good ball. So, their move up to 6A2, that's going to be a new thing for them. They're,
right.
We talked about that on the previous show of all the changes. Lawton High and them switch. Lawton High goes to 5A and will play in your district, Carl Albert, and then Eisenhower will go to 6A2. You got a lot of speed. They got a lot of athleticism. As you can see,
that's a bad deal.
corral this right here.
Yeah, wasn't that bad of a deal.
No.
Huh. Almost a first down. You normally, as a coach, don't want that kid to reverse his field like that.
That's right.
Unless you're Marcus Dupree.
But this is so good. And the weather is perfect because in Southwest Oklahoma, I left, it was 100 degrees, and you guys were 90. So when I got here, it was 89.
Right.
A little bit of a cool breeze.
We've had this consistent east breeze for the past couple of days, and it's really been nice. Well, Heritage Hall's moving the ball on Ike. That was 3rd down and 3, and they picked up the first down. Going to move the ball up to the 44-yard line.
Heritage Hall has won numerous state championships.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you how many, but they've been very good the last 10 or 15 years.
So one of the things that I was looking at here is –
That's picked. Oh, nope. Should have been.
One of the things I was looking at here, just to kind of give you a little bit of a better understanding. So the district breakup is quite different for Carl Albert this year.
Yes.
So we are still in District 2, and but a lot of the people that you normally see in District 2 are not there. Bishop McGinnis is in District 1. They came back down from 6A2, and they are now in 5A District 1. So District 2 now has Altus, Carl Albert, El Reno, Guthrie, John Marshall, Lawton High, who came down from 6A into 5A, Noble, and Western Heights. So, Western Heights is kind of a brand new team coming on.
Yep.
They have struggled a little bit. That was a pickup of about 7 yards, maybe 8 on the play. Nice pass play there. And it's going to still bring up 4th down and about 7 to go for Heritage Hall. And in a scrimmage, you don't worry about that. So Altus, and they will be traveling here, but we'll be traveling there next year.
Yeah.
So,
it's always a fun trip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, take the day off and go. And a nice pass out in the flat. He catches it. That's number 1. He turns it upfield, and he gets hit right square in the shoulder pads. So,
chest.
But that was good enough for about a 22-yard pass play down to the 29-yard line. Heritage Hall's on the move again, 1st and 10. So we go. Altus comes here. We go to there next year. El Reno. We know a little bit about them. We've played them.
But they lost a couple of their really good players.
Yes. Guthrie, we know what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
And we go there again.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm going to
That's right. You will not be there, and I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. One of our coaches that has been coaching here, he actually coached at the middle school for quite a while and helped on the staff here. And then he came up here and started coaching at the high school, was a high school teacher. Tony Borum is going to be here for us that week.
That's good.
And we're really excited about that. Tony is kind of – I hope he's excited. He said he was. And we'll have a good time. Tony has done a great job coaching and has coached around the city as well, not just here at Carl Albert. And I always say his claim to fame was coaching over at Southeast with Gerald McCoy.
He coached Gerald McCoy, and they're like on first name basis.
Yeah. So Tony's been around the block. He understands what's going on. So, but we also play Guthrie at Guthrie. Then we have John Marshall. Then we actually go to Lawton, and that will be a game. They play at Cameron Stadium as well, right?
Right.
Okay. So we go to Lawton. Now, we haven't played Lawton High in a while.
We played them. I don't know if you played them after I retired, but we played them the year that I retired.
Yes. Pass downfield. He comes back for it. He almost catches it, but it drops to the ground. Incomplete pass. And that's brings up 4th down and 14 for the Chargers. Noble had made a little run last year, got a little bit better, and then I said Western Heights. Now Western Heights is kind of an up and coming team, kind of started over. J.D. Runnels was there last year and coached there. He's a Carl Albert grad and also played in the NFL. And
played a little bit at the University of Oklahoma.
Played a little bit for OU.
He blocked for, what was that guy's name? All Day?
All Day, yeah.
Yeah, AD.
Number 28. Great pass down to the 6-yard line, pushed out of bounds there at the 3. And that's one of those that in a regular game you kind of want to see something happen when somebody gets thrown down like that out of bounds. But that's okay. It's a scrimmage. And so anyway, Western Heights is rebuilding. J.D. Runnels now is over at Mount St. Mary's as the head coach over there. And the coaching carousel continues to turn. So District 1 in 5A is Bishop McGuinness, Classen SAS, Duncan, Guyman, MacArthur.
Guyman's back in?
Well, they are showing up on the OSSA website, but I do not know that they will field a team.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. MacArthur, Midwest City is in District 1, Newcastle, and Southeast. And then you go to the eastern side of the state, and District 3 has Bishop Kelly, Booker T. Washington, Coweta, Durant, East Central, Edison Prep, McAllister, and Shawnee is on the eastern side.
Oh, good.
And the reason that I'm sharing all of these is because we're also trying to keep up with where Del City is. Bad snap, fumble, and recovered by Lawton Hike.
They've had a couple of bad snaps, unfortunately, a little high.
So Del City is in District 4, and that is this is a pretty darn good district, I have to admit.
Yeah.
Claremore, Collinsville, Del City, Tulsa Memorial, Nathan Hale, Pryor, Tahlequah, and Will Rogers. There's 3 really good teams in that district.
Maybe 4.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
Yep.
Whoever comes out of that will be seasoned. And it'll probably be Del City. I mean, I've seen some of Robert's kids, and one of their kids is a transfer from El Reno.
Yes.
I can't remember his name. It's a Native American name.
Got a flag coming in the backfield there. Was an end around there.
Holding.
And they got to call a holding there on the Eagles. So that's going to move them back to about the 12-yard line. Going to put that ball down there at the 12. It'll be first down.
And I think Robert also had a kid move in from Tuttle that's going to be a quarterback. I don't know that for sure.
Oh.
Or was that Midwest City? I don't know. Somebody.
I know they've got to move in over at Midwest City. I'm not sure about the Del City quarterback. I know that Robert was talking as though it was going to be okay.
Yeah.
And he's not going to tell you much.
Yeah, no, they'll be okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
And they, that's a great program over there. And when Coach Dunn and Robert Jones were there together, you could see the turnaround of that program. And then Robert Jones has done nothing but just really build upon all of that. Has had, 2 great seasons, 3 great seasons actually, back to back. The ball is fumbled. Heritage Hall picks it up. That's number 44 with the recovery. So fumble back and forth now on 3 different plays. I always find it unusual. I'm looking down there at number 44, and he's got one of those, I don't know what they call them. Got one of those puff hats on top of his helmet.
Oh, yeah.
And
just a little extra protection.
A little extra protection. And it looks like he's got a motorcycle helmet on.
Yeah.
So Heritage Hall's back on offense. 2 men in the backfield, 2 wide out. It's going to be a handoff over here on this right side. Number 2, he cuts back to the middle. He's going to pick up a couple of yards. He's a pretty good-sized kid.
Yeah, not bad. The kid that was leading him is even bigger.
Yep. So as we move on down, I'll give you a little bit of an idea where. So in 4A, and I'm looking here. Heritage Hall is actually in 3A.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But, yeah, and they have moved up. So they must have been a 2A school that actually moved up. And so Heritage Hall is in 3A. And for those of you that know Oklahoma football, 3A and 2A, there's some good football played in those schools.
Very good.
It really is. He's going to get away around that left side. He gets hit right over there.
Somebody
just
showed.
About a yard gain. But when you talk about Lincoln Christian and Heritage Hall and a bunch of those 3A schools,
Victory
Christian, Cassia Hall, those are all good schools. Holland Hall.
Yep.
Another school that's coming on and I believe is going to be maybe a little bit of a teller this year is North Rock Creek.
Oh, yeah.
So North Rock Creek actually added high school about 2 years ago. Oh, wide open. Missed that throw in the end zone. But North Rock Creek actually opened up to high school about 2 years ago. And many of the kids that played for Shawnee actually live in the North Rock Creek district. Right. And it's kind of a bedroom community, if you will, for Shawnee, just north there of Shawnee. And so they are actually getting a pretty good program going on over there.
Yep, they'll have some good kids.
Yep.
I don't know what size they are.
Well, I can tell you that currently they have 500 kids in the high school. 499.39 if you want to know exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah. I don't know who the .39 kid is, but and since I said that, I feel like I have to say Carl Albert has 1,164.65 kids. So
11, huh?
1,164, yeah.
Well, we used to just barely.
Nope, I take that back. That was Del City, 1164. Carl Albert's got 1111.32.
Oh, okay.
So 1111, yeah. And Midwest City's got 1313. So Lawton Ike's got the ball, 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 15-yard line. He drops back to pass, going to throw it out here in the flat to number 1. You have to catch it before you run. He already started to turn his head.
He did.
And that happens. But that's why we scrimmage. That's what scrimmages are for. Well, it is a great evening for a scrimmage.
Yeah, it's like Eric was saying, it's that breeze is nice and cool.
Yep.
Not like it's been the last few years when it's been over 100.
Right.
And we're just real thankful that it's
pass to the outside. Oh, almost picked there by number 8 from Heritage Hall. He got up there, got his hand on it, couldn't come down with it, but did knock it away, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
And again, on any part of the kicking game, they'll get all lined up, make sure everybody's there and all that stuff. Snap the ball, he'll punt it, and wherever the kid catches it, that's where it'll be.
That's where we are.
There'll be no maybe not.
I think they're maybe just going to move it 35 yards down. And
they won't get a chance to work on their punt.
Nope. So 47 seconds left here. That's how quick these are. 47 seconds left.
Well, if you're an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator, 47 seconds before halftime,
You can do a lot.
You're going to throw it.
Yeah, you think?
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But they had a hard time getting the snap, so.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here. Well, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Should be 1st and 10. They're going to place the ball on the
50. 51.
Yeah. 51. 2 men wide to the left, 1 to the right, 1 in the backfield. He's going to pull out here to the right side. He's going to pass a little toss over to number 34. He's a big old boy, but he took one right in the chops.
He did.
Picked up about 9 yards on the play down to the 41-yard line.
I think I'll check my helmet.
Somebody hand me my mouthpiece because it's down there somewhere.
Bless his heart.
2nd down and 1, 20 seconds left.
I was going to say, at some point in time, that might have gotten a flag.
Yeah. This time he's going to hand off in the backfield to number 2. He's got the first down. He's got to get out of bounds. There's 9 seconds left, but he's going to kick it on up, and he runs and gets out of bounds there at about the 12-yard line. That's where the referee's got it. So 5 seconds left. Just time for one play. And it'll be 1st and goal. Well, nope, it'll be at the 12, so it'll be 1st down and 10 at the 12. So here they come, moving around. Going to have 2 wide out to the right. 1 wide out left, 1 man in motion left or right across the formation. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to split it out here to the outside. Oh, just overthrew and into the arms. Nope, it's not. He said it was incomplete, but he just overthrew his man standing there in the end zone all by himself.
Half.
Yep, and that'll be the half. We get 2 minutes, I believe, for the half.
And the next groups will be getting ready. Looks like it might be, is it Mac? And who would be left? No, not Newcastle.
Yeah, it'll be Lawton, Mac, and Southmore this time. Okay. Well, I think we're going to go, let's see. Each game will have 2 12-minute halves with a 2-minute halftime. So we're going to see them again for 12 more minutes.
Yes, right.
Yeah. And then, yeah, you're right. Then it's Lawton, Mac, and Southmore.
But they'll start getting ready here in a minute.
Yep.
They'll start doing high knees.
I've been moving today, Coach, and my watch says I have 17,834 steps.
What'd you do?
I was doing something every moment, it seemed like. So I got up and drove the bus this morning. I got all this stuff set up here. It's just been a busy day. Had to go to swim practice, so I was there at swim practice, and we are swimming at the University of Oklahoma.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, we've got 8 lanes down there. It's the first time.
Is it that wide that's down there on?
Actually, no. This is at the university.
Oh, yeah.
So the Trey Young Family Athletic Center went in with Norman and Norman Public Schools, and they have built their own pool. So Norman Public Schools had vacated the University of Oklahoma's pool, and so we are now in the University of Oklahoma's pool. So they have an outdoor pool that we're using until it gets too cold, and then they've got an indoor pool.
Oh, wonderful.
And so we're excited to be down there.
Beats the heck out of the last couple of years, doesn't it?
My goodness, yes. and I want to be thankful as well. I mean, the Middale has voted a bond for us to be able to have an aquatic facility here as a part of a conglomeration with the YMCA and the city of Midwest City. We're just ready to see that start kicking off here as soon as we can.
I hope it does.
And we've got there are some plans that are being made, and so for those of you that keep contacting me on Facebook, that's what I'm going to tell you is meetings are happening. That's
Good.
What I can tell you. So
very good.
Everybody's wanting to know when's the pool coming. Well, it takes a while to build a pool.
Yeah.
So, having the money is one thing, and then building a pool is another. So anyway, we're in the process of that, and we're excited about that. But we're actually practicing down at the University of Oklahoma. And
so you get to drive every day?
Every day. We drive down there and drive back.
So
it's
do
about
you
40 minutes.
drive a route in the morning?
Yeah, I drive a route in the morning because, hey, and that's another thing. If anybody, and this is for anybody in the state of Oklahoma, if you're listening to this, I can pretty well guarantee you your school system needs bus drivers.
Yeah.
And so since I'm an adjunct coach and have my CDL, they asked me to come in. I've been driving this whole first week of school and moving around on different routes if they need me to, but I've actually been on one route this whole time, and that's nice because I don't get lost. So that's good. That was a heck of a kick, the way that bounced back like that.
Yeah. Well, that kid should have never let it hit the ground. As one of the coaches upstairs was telling him.
Yes, I could hear it.
Yeah, don't let it hit the ground.
So Lawton Ike will have the ball to start this second half. I think that, we actually have a pretty good cameraman up there. He's doing a pretty good job.
Well, good.
Yeah. So
he's a football player.
And he's a football player,
so
yeah.
He should know what
right.
needs to be
Yeah,
done.
he's kind of keeping things focused. And
good for you, son.
Yep.
Did you ever get his name?
No, but I will.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1st and 10.
Do it again.
For the Eagles. Now the shotgun. He's going to hand it off, cut right back up the middle. He's going to pound forward for about 6 yards. Nice little running play. Just buried his head and kept moving. So this is a 6A school going against a 3A school. And Heritage Hall's holding their own.
Yeah, Heritage Hall's, they're good. They're good.
Yep.
Very good 3A school. Boom.
Handoff up the middle again. That time he's going to get stopped right behind the line. Loses a yard back to the 35.
I don't know if y'all saw that or not, but number 44, who has the funky helmet thing on, was an outside linebacker and came, and they were pulling right into him, and he tried to wrong arm it. Didn't quite get the wrong arm done, but he stopped it up enough that the troops had a chance to
catch
come
up.
To his rescue.
Yep. 2 men split wide to the right, 1 wide to the left, 2 in the backfield. A little bit of motion going on there. He's going to throw it out across the middle. Almost got picked, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 5 now for the Eagles. I'm not really sure where he was throwing that. I would tell you.
There were a couple of guys there.
Yeah, there were a couple of Heritage Hall guys there.
Yeah.
Looks like they are going to possibly set up for the punt this time.
And that's one of the things that, if you have a 0-week game, you don't really get a chance to work on that in this format. Like, they're not going to let them punt.
No.
Just getting kids out there in the right position, the snapper and the kicker and the gunners and all that stuff. And if they don't, then it can be disastrous in the first week of the
exactly.
of the season.
And we've seen that. We've seen that with even well-coached teams, is that some of those guys that are playing on those special teams, they're standing over here on the sidelines and they're not paying attention, and then all of a sudden you're missing a lineman.
I can still hear Coach Rollins. Boy, are you jilly jacking around over there? He was so funny. So they're putting it on what, the 30?
Yeah, looks like it. Yep. Can put it on the 30-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Heritage Hall Chargers. They're having a little problem getting people on the field.
Yeah. That's why you play scrimmages.
Yep. We don't have the play clock running tonight. You end around.
Ooh.
That was one of those times when, we teach him to run through the player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran right past the player.
Past him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. He was playing that corner position. And somebody told him turn him in. Well, he did.
He did. He did that.
Ran right past him to turn him in. 2 men wide to the left, 2 men wide to the right. Running back in the backfield. Quarterback takes the snap. He's going to drop back to pass. He's looking, a little bit of footwork. He's going to
him.
spread out there to the
Snappy
side.
feet.
A little toss over to number 4.
I think the official blew the whistle because he was getting ready to get smacked.
Okay. That's exactly what happens. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 11 after that loss on that first down play. It's a good idea if you were able to see that. It's a good idea in a live game to go ahead and make that guy commit to you, and then you can toss it over. Especially if you've got somebody else on the backside. You got a safety coming up. 2 men to the left, 2 men to the right. Quarterback takes the ball, drops back to pass. He steps up into the pocket, drops the ball, gets back on the ball.
That's the second time he's done that.
Yep. Having a little problem there.
He's probably going,
Yep. 2 more yards lost on the play, and that brings up 4th down. And they're going to trade possession one more time. 8:25 left here in this scrimmage. As we said, Lawton MacArthur and Sophomore coming up next.
I'm curious to see what Sophomore or Lawton MacArthur's got this year. They're always a perennial, really good football team. Are they in 5A3?
Yes, I believe so. I'm pretty sure. Perennially. I know all about that because of flowers.
Every year.
Every year, that's right.
They
my wife loves to put out the perennials.
They've had the Manning family coaching them for 100 years, it seems like. Ernie was the coach years ago, and then his son has taken over. He's probably been coaching for 20, 15.
Yeah, they're in District 1 with Bishop McGinnis, Duncan, Midwest City.
That'll be a good district.
Yeah. Going to be a pitch out here to the outside. He gets to the outside corner and cuts it upfield. Steps out of bounds there just before the 50.
Took a little bit of a poor angle. It looked like number 2, I think.
Kind of got beat to the corner then.
Yep.
Well, it, again, when it's this warm out, and of course tonight's a great night. Another little pitch and fumble there, and a little tussle for the ball. Not sure, but there is a flag holding on the Eagles, and so that's going to negate that play.
They've run the option the last 2 plays.
Yep. Option right, option left now. I was just going to say, the cool – I've been getting up really early in the morning, and the cool mornings make you think of football.
Yeah.
They really do. And, even though we're still, in August, but these cool mornings, and we've had several here, just make you start feeling football. So they're going to move that ball back to the 42-yard line. Going to bring up 2nd down and a long 6 for the Eagles. Oh, no, now they're going to mark it off. I was going to say, I thought that's where they started from. He's going to mark it back there. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Option again?
Kind of got their players out like that. No, he's going to cut it up the middle there. And he's going to pick up about 6 on the play.
That's that hard-running kid that we saw earlier, number 1.
That's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 now.
I wonder if that's the young man that had the bad knee last year.
Yeah.
See, he looks pretty good.
Their line is not real tall, but they're
hefty.
They're hefty, yeah.
Big old boys.
Pass out there in the flat to number 1. Oh, he bounces over a guy. Picks up the 1st down. Is going to cut back to the middle. What kind of racer do you have there? He gets out, and he's going to go all the way down to about the 30-yard line.
He was over there on the sideline. He stopped on a dime and gave you 9 cents change. Well, I was just looking at my forecast. It's going to get hot again.
Yeah, it is.
95s, 96s. There's some option. Nope.
We're in the booth, and there are coaches that are in a booth that are even higher than we are and to the side, and we can hear them like they're standing here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he must have been the offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Or maybe he quarterbacked the coaches. I mean,
Yeah.
coached the quarterbacks.
We'd like to welcome our Facebook Live.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, our Facebook Live people are out there as well. And so we'd like to welcome you to our broadcast this evening. And
streaming has begun. We are.
There we are. Heritage Hall has the ball. Going to be a throw out there to the right side, cut back to the middle. Oh, we got a little face mask going there. But no flag, just but he about broke his finger. So we didn't know we were on Facebook Live tonight, so thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we just welcomed our Facebook Live people out here, and there's several shares, and so we're glad you're here. Again, we want to apologize that we don't have rosters for every team, and so we're just trying to point out the kids that are doing well and maybe give you their number. If you know their name, just go ahead and place that in the comment on Facebook. Quarterback does a little stutter step, comes out here to this outside. That was second down play. He's going to pick up 5 yards on the play. Takes it up to the 38-yard line. Brings up third down and about 7. So remember to like the Oklahoma Sports Network, and you'll be able to watch a lot of games. We'll keep you informed on Facebook and keep you informed on Twitter if you'll look at the Oklahoma Sports Network, and keep you informed of all the games that come up with our 12 different teams around the state. And the Oklahoma Sports Network is continuing to grow, and we're excited to be able to add Jones this year. Jones has a very good football team. The worst thing that's happened to Jones is Washington.
Yes.
Yeah. So Washington has just had just a whale of a team the last few years, and has been to the state championship several times.
Well, they were the year previously and got beat by Matt. Not Matt Evans.
No.
Joe and Matt and Jody.
You'll think of them.
Anyway, from Marlowe.
Right. So here we are, 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. And the Eagles will have the ball first and 10 at the 33-yard line. This time it's going to be a run right up the gut. Number 5, good running play. Nice hole. First down for the Eisenhower Eagles. Ball's at the 22-yard line. 1 man wide left, 2 men to the right. Ball's handed off there again. This time number 1. He's going to get across the 20, cut to the outside. He's down that sidelines. He puts a stiff arm into that defensive back, and he's going to be down there at about the 5-yard line.
I think Heritage Hall has substituted.
Okay. So that it'll be first and goal at the 5. We could see our first score of the evening.
Yeah, there are some guys out there that
have not been playing.
Have not been playing.
Right.
2 minutes left.
Quarterback's in the shotgun. He takes the snap. He hands it off up the middle again. It's just a driving force.
Touchdown.
And they're going to call him dead there at the 1-foot line. So it'll be second and goal. The clock continues to run. They're getting ready over there on the track, and that whistle's going off the whole time, and it's hard to keep in my mind.
But it's not out on the field.
Yeah. 2 men split to the right, 1 to the left. Going to be another handoff and a push. He gets hit in the backfield this time. Drop for a 1-yard loss.
I brought them all.
Yep. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. And you've got to wonder what Ike will bring here in regard to getting stuffed up the middle. Seems like Heritage Hall has decided they're going to block the center. So here we go again. 1 man in the backfield, 2 men wide to the right, 1 man to the left. Tight end on the right side. Yep, we're going to go outside, see if we can beat him to the corner. He's got enough speed, and he gets hit right at the goal line, but is in for the touchdown. And that's our first score for the evening by Lawton Eisenhower with 43 seconds left in this game. Well, are you ready for football season, Eric?
Oh, yeah. I've been ready.
You've been ready.
Actually, since December.
Yeah. I saw a meme the other day on one of the social media things, and it wasn't really a meme. It was a little video, and it was a lady receiving a letter from her husband, and her husband said, I'm sorry, I'm going to be unavailable for this time and this time, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday through 9 o'clock in the evening.
Yep.
And all those things that I previously was doing on the weekends, I'm sorry, I will no longer be able to do. And
sorry, honey.
Yeah. So I'm not quite that bad, but if there's a football game on, I have a tendency to be watching it.
I'll turn it over there every now and then.
Yeah.
If I can get my wife to give me the remote.
Right.
She has it all the time. Not really, y'all.
Yeah. 43 seconds left. Yeah, because I know that your wife.
She heard that.
I hope your wife. Yeah, she's so mean and all.
Yeah, she is.
Right. 43 seconds left, and then we will have the next set will come up. Will be Lawton MacArthur and Southmore.
Is this the name of that kid that?
Yes, and there's 2 of them now. Blahoviak. Yeah.
That's the.
Yeah, we asked his mother, remember,
mom,
how to say it.
Yeah, his mom was our waitress out at
Right.
Fred's.
Right. Blahoviak. Now, you're going to have a little more to say here when MacArthur comes up, right? Because that's your team. Yeah.
Eric is the play-by-play guy for MacArthur.
Yep. And it bounces in the end zone for the touchback. So 43 seconds to go.
Well, I was going to ask you a question, and it has nothing to do with football.
Yeah.
But it does have to do with OSN. Oh, he's not there.
He just left.
He snuck out. John Collidy, Commander Collidy.
Kilty.
Yeah.
Collidy? I don't know. Kilty. John Kilty.
Mm-hmm. I saw a deal advertised for a special on the Blue Angels.
Oh.
And we know that his son is a Blue Angel.
Yes,
and it talks about part of the advertisement says, and we've added 5 new flyers to this. And I'm wondering if that's when they did it's a documentary on the Blue Angels. If
Kilty's son is one of the 5 new, yeah.
And I just thought it's on Netflix or one of those Paramount Plus or something. I don't know.
Well, if John's listening or watching from anywhere, he could text us. He's got our number and tell us if his son is in that documentary. John is the play-by-play announcer for the Dale City Eagles.
Yes.
And
great man.
Yeah, wonderful man and a great patriot, and we thank him for his service to our country in the Navy. And he was also a Navy flyer.
He was a Navy flyer, and I asked him on our way down to the OSN meeting last Thursday. I said, I said, have you landed on a carrier? Oh, yes, many times.
Yeah.
I said, what's it like landing on a carrier? You know, and he goes, well, if it's good weather, it's just fine.
Right.
He said, if it's bad weather, it gets a little hairy.
Right.
I went, okay. But that just is amazing.
Yeah, you're going to have to run because you're already past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And 30 seconds left. And he stepped out of bounds short of the line to gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 5 at the 40-yard line. Third down and 5. Chain guys have to scrimmage, too. They got to get a little quicker over there for me.
Is that ours? Those aren't our chains.
I don't know.
Or if they are, they're like junior high chains.
Yeah.
We've got one that's
We've got a lighted
one.
This year. Yeah. So,
Whoa.
almost tilts it over his head. He's going to get it out there right on the sidelines. Good job. That's the way you play this clock. That's what this scrimmage is for. That burned 4 seconds, picked up 7 yards. There's a perfect little pass out to the outside. He tiptoed the edge and caught the ball.
So after these guys get finished with their game, then they'll go down to the end zone on the far outside of the end zone. Get a hamburger and a hot dog.
Pass out here to the outside. He gets out of bounds. Only burns 6 seconds off the clock. Yeah, they've got the hot dogs going. And
remember last year, it looked like a dang smoke ring down there.
Yeah.
Just big old bellowing smoke because there was no wind, and it just stayed there.
Second down and 6. Long 6. Going to be back to the quarterback. Quarterback's looking downfield. He's going to throw down towards the sidelines. Overthrows out of bounds. And 16 seconds left. It'll be 3rd down. Expect to see a little more of the same here.
How much time's left?
16 seconds.
16.
2 men, actually 3 men split wide to the right, 1 man to the left. 1 back in the backfield. Quarterback takes the ball, drops back to pass, gets rushed out of the pocket. He's going to move up. He's got to look to get out of bounds.
He won't.
And he won't, so he gets stopped right there. And there's 6 seconds left. They stop the clock. They get lined up. Trips to the right. 1 man to the left. Quarterback gets the ball, throws it down.
Ball game.
And that's the end of this first 2 halves of scrimmage, 12-minute halves again.
Heritage Hall will be working with their center a little bit.
Yeah. You know, it's different when you've got somebody with a different uniform lined up over you than it is in practice.
And as big as that kid was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one thing to –
he's probably saying really nice things to him as he's getting ready to snap it.
It's one thing to snap the ball in practice. It seems pretty simple. Yeah. But when there's somebody else with a different colored helmet standing on the other side, it sometimes is a little more nerve-wracking.
Well, and just looking at my clock, my watch just now, it's 7:20. These guys will get started. Imagine Carl Albert and that group will get started around 8.
Yeah.
Or thereabouts. And they like to get the teams that have the farthest distance
the first early. Shot, yeah. Yeah. Lawton Ike and Lawton Mack. So, and they didn't want, and they're not going to let them play each other.
Correct.
So, right.
No, because they play each other
right
in the regular season.
So that's the first round. And we're setting up now for Lawton MacArthur and Southmore. And the referees are in a huddle down here just trying to make sure they know what they're doing.
MacArthur's going to kick off first, looks like. And they'll be kicking off too, Southmore. Southmore's in dark blue. They're really nice looking uniforms.
They really are.
And their helmets.
They have a kind
shiny.
of a professional look to them.
They do.
And the Saber Cats.
The Saber Cats. That's right.
Yep.
We used to play them when Gary was coaching, the head coach. They were really good back then, and I don't think we ever beat them. We always played them in one of the first 3 games of the year. And it was quite a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is a large school, and I'm gonna say that honestly, I think there's probably 85 or 90 kids on this sideline over here.
Yeah, they had a young man named Casey Thompson. Thomas.
Yeah, Thompson. Yeah, Casey Thompson.
The quarterback that used to be at OU.
Yes,
his son.
He's back at OU.
Yeah, I was going to say he went to Nebraska and then he went to someplace else.
Texas, Nebraska, and then
came back to OU.
Yeah.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, he's the backup now.
I had not heard that.
Yep.
Came from Newcastle, Oklahoma.
Well, I think too.
Yeah. Well, he had been at Sophomore before.
Right, and then he transferred to Newcastle.
His brother had been there even before then.
This will be good because this is the first time I will get to see MacArthur, since spring ball, and then,
They have some good-looking kids, Coach.
Yeah, I think that, they had to take their lumps. They had, a starting sophomore quarterback, and they had a wide receiver as a sophomore, and then Adam Austin, that safety that's committed to Arkansas, all sophomores. So they're all juniors this year. And when I saw them in the Guthrie game in the playoff when we went to the Rock and they connected to Josh rushing with that touchdown, I said, okay, the sophomore stuff's over now.
Yeah.
They grow up.
They're of age.
Yeah.
Yep. And so now they're technically juniors, even though it was a one and done for a playoff appearance, but I knew they were ready. And so I'm really anxious to see what they're going to put on the field.
Well, Guthrie was pretty salty last year.
Oh, yeah. You knew that.
Yeah, they were. All right, 2 men wide to the left, 2 men wide to the right, 1 man in the backfield. Going to throw a flat out there to number 17. He's got 1 blocker. Going to pick up about 3 to 4 yards on the play. Takes the ball up to the 39-yard line. So 4 yards picked up, brings up 2nd down and 6.
Sophomore is, are they in the largest class? Are they 6A1? Do you know?
I can tell you.
'Cause I think they are.
I think
Quickly. Handoff there up the middle. He squirts through for about 2. They're just, that big offensive line is just pushing him up. So
it will be interesting with the changes, and when we talk about when I say your district, Carl Albert's district,
yes.
MacArthur's district, to have Bishop McGuinness leave your district, and that's always been a rivalry between Carl Albert and Bishop McGuinness. So now MacArthur will have them the last game of the season.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. And
It'll
that
probably
could
come
decide
down
a
to that.
pecking order, as far as how the district goes. And I mean, Newcastle's they're coming up to 5A from 4A. Midwest City's been there for the last couple of years, and they want something to prove as well. And with Lawton coming down, I think the coaches say, okay, if we're going to split the Lawton, something's got to be done. And Bishop McGuinness was the one that switched over, and that way Lawton High wasn't in the same district as MacArthur. And Del City, of course, wanted to go east, and so there's no confliction in your districts between the 3 inner-city Mid-Del schools.
Yeah. To answer your question, the ball is tipped and knocked down there at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. To answer your question, Southmore is the top school in 6A2 as far as ADM.
Wow. Just on the fringe.
Yeah, 2,048. And the next one up is Deer Creek at 2,126. So they've got a little bit of room to play with 80 students.
Deer Creek's the smallest in 6A1.
The smallest in 6A1, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
and,
good.
And, of course, they're growing leaps and bounds out there.
Oh, yeah.
Drops back to pass, throws across to the middle. Oh! Yeah, they're going to call that.
A little late chin music, yeah.
Yep.
And that's why I like settings like this when you have officials, to get them understanding that the season's going to start and that's not going to be allowed.
That's right.
You know,
that won't work.
This is the best way you learn. You know, you just cost your team
A first down.
Yeah.
And more.
But, I mean, I've been waiting for this moment to kick off, get the football field. I rolled into the parking lot. You know, you can talk about football all you want, but when you roll up in the parking lot and everybody's here in the stands, you say, okay, it's
Right.
football. Football season's here.
Right. I came straight from my swim practice, and I turned off a post road. And, folks, we haven't shown you, but there are cars all the way out to post road, and we have a full parking lot behind us. And it's just everybody's kind of got that football fever. That was a really well-defended play there by number 13, and did a good job at staying off of the receiver and getting his hand over. He's a pretty tall kid, too.
They've got some good-looking athletes in the secondary.
Yeah,
Man.
Nice long arms and great job there.
In fact, our videographer upstairs, Tom Bell, he said, "Do you have a roster?" I said, "No, I didn't ask Coach for a roster.
Right.
I'm having to go off of last year's numbers if that stays the same." And
Just a run push up the middle. Got a flag down here from the backside.
I'd like to see if MacArthur will go on offense.
Well, right now, with that one penalty, that was really the largest play. But getting ready to move them back. Going to be a holding call on Southmore.
But if the discussion is, okay, Midwest City, MacArthur, Bishop, McGuinness is your, if you're top tier 3 and whoever beats whoever, how it shakes out for 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then that leaves that position for 4. And, like Newcastle, you can't leave them out. I know they're they're a great 4A program. What will they do in 5A? We'll see.
They feel pretty good. We've got one of our coaches, a younger coach that is over there,
and he's from here.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and played at OBU in college, and then came back here and taught and coached. And he is coaching over at Newcastle. He says they look good, and they're. He said the boys are buying into the program. I think that
has a lot to do.
It does.
Well, I know they're not here, but Lawton High was the same way with Coach Zoe coming from the Southmore, and he's got the kids buying in, and they got the numbers up. It's really kind of encouraging.
I've heard that the numbers were
they had
a bit up.
I think they had 38 last year on the roster, and they got close to 90. I think they had to order 30. Their AD told me they had to order 30 more helmets after they had the 80 they had in.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
and that's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem.
Shoulder pads and helmets, bring Lawton High back up to what they were known for.
It's a good problem for football. It's a horrible problem for the finances of the district. Do you know what a helmet costs now?
Oh my goodness!
Especially the kind that they like to wear.
That's right.
Yeah,
I was absolutely. I was just shocked, but and my numbers are probably off because this was last year, and the helmets that we were buying were $385 a piece.
Well, they have a life too. I mean, you can't use those helmets forever. You can refurbish them, but
that's right.
They're not. Oh, I've been having this helmet for 10 years.
No. But with concussion the way it is, everybody is doing everything they can do to protect the athlete.
They're very conscious of
that's
that.
the right thing to do. A little offsides there.
It's good.
Yep. Everybody sees you when you do it by yourself. That was not the Ed Hockley call where Ed Hockley stands out there and says, everyone move but the center.
Yeah. That's funny.
Now, his son is officiating.
I saw him this last weekend.
And I think he's trying to be buff like his dad.
Yeah, he's working on it.
He's working on it.
He doesn't quite have the Hockley arms yet.
Oh, see, now.
Well overthrown.
That's what they have that connection with, trying to go to Josh Rushing, and he'll get his man beat, but, it's a timing thing. That is practice, and they mastered it by that Guthrie game, but this is the first of the year.
Well, and that defensive back from Southmore, I mean, he's given up 6 inches
at least.
Yeah, going to be a run play around this right side, a little stutter, and he's down.
I was talking to Kurt about the Mannings that are the coaches.
Uh-huh.
Ernie was the original.
Yes.
From and I'm not sure how long he was there.
Yeah, and you know he's back on the.
On the
he
sideline?
retired, but he's back on the sideline.
Is he
He's got
really?
He's got two grandsons. That's Brett's two sons that are on the program.
And then Brett has been. I was trying to guess, probably 15 to 20.
See,
years.
that's a nice throw, nice ball. There it
Beautiful
is.
throw.
Bo DeLong. There is 17.
And
right
he stays
there.
up on his feet, and they're going to go in for the touchdown.
That's a little, but you know, you see that throw right there. He's just a junior. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, that's good.
And you say, oh, that's pretty. You know, when he launches it, you know, well, you had that last year. You had a lot of pretty balls going airborne.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
we
had
did.
guys that come down and could catch it, you know. Yeah. And so you like that. And, you know, Bo DeLong is another one that's a veteran that's seen a lot of action, and he really needs to put it together this year.
Well, I really like having you here in the booth with MacArthur on the field. We need to make sure that, you know, if we do this again next year, we have everyone.
Oh, all of our crews.
All of
Yeah,
our
I
crews
understand.
could come in and talk during their time.
And I really didn't even know Eisenhower was going to be a part of this. I knew MacArthur was, and I knew Newcastle, but Eisenhower was a surprise when I saw the schedule. You know,
Who does the Newcastle? Is it the guy that was here?
yeah,
earlier?
Josh.
Josh.
Yeah, he's still down there, and he covers for the Sooners, and he's trying to do two things at one time. You know. But
Yeah,
Josh Calloway is.
He's got several recruits that are getting ready to come on the field here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, well, you're going to get two for the price of one. He's going to.
Yeah.
He brought his camera, you know, and he can do a little OU report for 24/7.
It's Kaysen. Was he filming too?
Yeah, Casey.
Yeah, he was. I saw him on the sideline,
and he's
right down
gonna,
there. Yeah.
So be on our social media stuff because you'll see it on Facebook and on Instagram, on X. We'll put some video montage, especially of our OSN teams, and that's why I like doing this scrimmage because you know you get to see a lot of our teams, and then we decided to do the football preview. If you missed it, you can go back and watch that. We do a little rundown of the top 5 in each of the classes from 2A all the way to 6A.
For those of you that are watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, make sure that you go and get the OSN app in the App Store. And once you download that, you don't have to go searching for everything. And that's the beauty of the app, is that all of the platforms are on the app. So you can go back and you can rewatch, and you can listen to Coach Goff and I over and over and over again.
Which you probably will want to do.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
With the sound down?
Yeah.
When it's muted?
Right,
Okay.
right, muted so you can actually watch the game.
Closed caption.
Right. Handoff there up the middle, and he's going to break through.
Now, I noticed their quarterback is the only one in the red jersey. Has any other teams made a red jersey appearance? I think this is
Not
the only
red.
one, right?
I
No,
got
it's
several
just
blue ones.
Okay.
Different color than the regular. But, yeah, he's the only
But, yeah,
one. And they had another kid, right down there, number 19.
It finally struck me what these uniforms are. They're the Chicago
Oh, the Bears.
uniforms.
Yeah, you're right.
Just in a different color.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been sitting here looking, and I just kept thinking, I've seen these. I've seen these.
You're right. You're right.
But these are the Chicago Bears uniforms
Interesting.
in blue and that sunset orange.
Now, I noticed that you guys already talked about, as far as Carl Albert, you go back to a September 6th start. But of our 12 schools, I think 7 are playing next week for 0 week. And, you know, a couple of years ago, 0 week was, only about 2 or 3 teams in the state were playing a 0 week. I think we just need to call it week 1, and then you get a bye because there is no 0 week anymore.
They brought the house right there.
Yeah, they did. They just brought everybody. And
manned up and brought.
He didn't have time to throw, so.
Punt.
4th down and 11, and so MacArthur has done a good job at.
Who is the team up after this? Is it
The team that comes up right after this
Be us.
will be it's actually a three-way thing.
Oh, okay.
Edmond Memorial against Newcastle, Newcastle against Carl Albert against Edmond Memorial.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, because I knew that they couldn't do it evenly with 7 teams. You knew
Right.
someone was going to be odd man
Right.
out, and you guys were the host. Now, Coach Goff was talking about he never seen this years ago about doing this, but this is going to be a nice tradition to have this
This will be good.
Carl Albert Invitational of sorts.
It will. And we went to one, I guess it was back in 2007, 6, somewhere around in there. At Jinx.
Oh, nice hole.
At Jinx that was just like this.
That's a good comment there on taking the wrong angle.
Yeah.
When you take the wrong, I mean, you may think you're fast, but you're not that fast, and once you miss it, it's over. And we did a similar thing where we went to.
Oh, wow.
That's a pretty great individual play right there.
That's making lemonade out
Yep.
of lemonade out of lemons right there. That's heads up play, but dangerous in a spring game, not a spring, but a preseason game like that, because you can get rolled up on easily. But good heads up play from the quarterback.
We did a similar thing about 7.
Oh, he wasn't looking.
Got it picked off.
And the receivers are going to both talk about that, and they kind of And the other one.
Hey, that's
they
the way.
They said, "Man, that was yours."
That's right.
You didn't look.
That's the way you learn, right there. I mean that.
Well, and they'll go
again,
back on film and say
right.
that you've got to have your head turned back, and the quarterback knew I'm going to throw to a spot, and then you didn't think it was coming to you, but heads up on the defense and a pick and a turnover.
Absolutely, a good job by just keeping his eyes on the quarterback and the ball, and making that turn. We did a similar thing, I believe, in Corley's first year over at Western Heights, didn't we? Where we did a round robin thing.
Don't remember.
I can't.
I just got a text from Mo Mayfield.
Yeah.
There's a lame duck. Wow.
We were just talking about you. Yeah. Josh Calloway's in the booth.
Is this the first time?
Yes. Yes. Hey, if you're around when Newcastle plays, come up and tell us about them.
Yeah, I definitely can.
Okay. We're not being real formal, so
That works.
if you have a roster, you're ahead of most people. So
Yeah.
I do have a roster for Carl Albert, but that's it.
You do?
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah.
Well, that's good. It wasn't last year's, though, right?
No, no,
Unfortunately.
yeah. Gonna toss it out there in the flat. Oh, beautiful
wow.
one-handed catch.
Wow,
Jumps
wow.
up and takes it away. Now that would have been a flag by the fact that he threw the ball on the ground and
Right.
it flew up in the air.
Well, we got a flag back over here.
And those are the kind of things you have to fix even in a scrimmage. So, yeah, we do have a flag down in the backfield, and that's going to
Probably
get
holding.
picked up because it looked like it was a holding, and so they're not going to accept that.
Great play.
Yeah,
though.
I know he's excited, but that's the kind of thing as a coach you just definitely want to say, whoa, you blow up all the good stuff by dropping it 15 yards back. So that's my phone that normally is in the quiet position. It wasn't, so.
Yeah, it rang a little while ago. I should
oh,
have turned
good.
it off.
I apologize for that.
But it said spam risk, so
yeah,
I just
there you go.
I let it go.
Well, I like spam.
I used to.
Good
There it
pass
is.
right across the
Josh
top.
rushing.
And he's
Get in
going
the
to
end zone. Come on. Make that move.
just keep
Stiff arm.
pushing,
Come on.
pushing,
There you
fighting.
go. There you go.
Touchdown.
Highlight reels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Making a splash in 5A.
Right.
Look at that and that was almost back-to-back plays.
And he's just a junior.
Yes.
Yep. Well played.
Well, and they have a combination, that quarterback to receiver. And Josh Rushing has got the height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a height advantage against a lot of his defenders. And that's half the battle.
And it looks like he's
How
got
many times have you seen this in regular season? You know, you're on special teams, right?
Yeah,
and then you have some guy run out there.
We
and I
talked
always
about
hate
this earlier.
I hate to call their name out, but I'm thinking, this is your job.
Right.
I know you're celebrating there's a touchdown, but, I'm on special teams.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm on PAT.
And you know, having stood on the sidelines, and we talked about this, and I don't know who that is, and I won't get in trouble by saying anything.
Sure.
But there's a good chance that he didn't even know there was a touchdown. He's one of the guys that's standing down here on the end, and they're trying to get him in and get him involved, and all he's got to do is just block somebody up for a second, and then that happens. And that's, again, we talked about that in regard to how many first games do we see where that happens over and over and over again.
Well,
But, yeah, this is your time to shine.
I like what I see right now
Yeah, it looks
for
good.
the
They
Highlanders.
look good.
I mean, it's
Well, they're really looking good in regard to the pass plays
Well,
now.
both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, face mask.
well, and I'm old school. I like these kickoffs, but I've watched a few of the NFL with the new kickoff
I don't
rules,
like it.
and I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I understand you want to try something, but
Yeah.
I mean, it really isn't a kickoff, really. I mean,
No.
and then I really hate the fact of you got to declare that you're onside kicking it, and you got to be from behind. Well, who's going to do that?
Well, and I think
You don't no element of surprise.
they take one of the most exciting
Exactly.
Yeah.
plays in football away.
Well, a Super Bowl with this, the Saints came out at halftime in a Super Bowl and onside kicked it, and to the surprise to everyone.
Yeah.
And now you can't do that.
Beautiful pass right across the middle into the flat, and nice little pitch and catch there.
And I know we got some new jerseys, but I know we got a couple of kids that have come in that's at linebacker. I don't have a number. I know Tate is supposed to be out there, and like I said, I don't have the roster yet. I'll get that from Coach when I get back, but I do. Rushing kept it, and Bo DeLong kept it. My memory is still okay. I knew who 17 was last year. I know number 2 was last year. I was worrying about myself at times,
Well, I'll tell you what, you've got height and you've got speed across that defensive backfield.
Well, and MacArthur's had to take their lumps for a while because they just didn't have it.
Yeah.
They had it for a long time.
They did.
And then when you don't have it, boy, it really is noticeable.
Well, it was us and MacArthur for many years.
Well, you almost played spoiler in the 2014 state championship run. It was the first game of the playoffs. Carl Albert had to come, and it was for a block extra point that made us win by 1 point. But Carl Albert was there. That was after the Carl Albert went like fourth seed and ran the table and win a state championship.
Oh my goodness.
Just
Outstretched
overthrown.
hands.
Let me give a shout out real quick to a buddy of mine that I've coached against for years from Lawton Ike, Maurice Mayfield.
Oh, yeah.
He just texted me and said that we were doing a good job and that he was laying on his couch watching.
Oh, okay, well.
He's retired now.
Maurice, we're glad you're watching, and we hope you stay awake.
Yeah, don't fall asleep.
Yeah, if I'm laying on the couch, sometimes it's over. Yeah. 2nd down and 10. 2 wideouts to the right, 2 wideouts to the left. 1 man in the backfield, drops back to pass. It's getting a little. Oh.
Hold up. Everything is.
Yep. It all goes back up,
the
right?
water boy gets tossed back up.
So a nice little toss out in the flat. And gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 now for Southmore. Trips to the right, 1 man to the left, 1 man in the backfield with the quarterback. Goes from the shotgun. He's going to have to step up. He's going to try to get to the outside. He gets drugged down from behind. And no gain on the play. Maybe a loss of about 2 is going to bring up 4th down and 11.
Speed really helps when
Yes,
you're playing defense.
it really does.
When I was lucky enough to be a defensive coordinator at Carl Albert, when we had speed, we were pretty dang good.
They're going to get the last playoff here of the half. The ball goes back to the quarterback, and he's going to toss it out there. Oh, that's a little bump there.
Wow.
No flag, but
Coach is telling him,
incomplete. Yeah, he's telling him.
make sure that you catch that ball.
Right.
Hi, Bo. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, man. How are you?
So you're up in the box?
Yeah, I'm trying it out. We'll see.
Okay.
This will be the trial run.
Okay. Good. Oh, do
I
you
like
really?
a lot of the heads up in the secondary for
I see you,
MacArthur.
bud.
I mean, they are really
Absolutely.
ball hawking that. Not only with the interception, but they're not lost in the secondary. Sometimes you get players that overthink it, and they're getting away from their job because they're trying to make a play, and these guys are pretty solid in that secondary.
Well, one of the things that you see, and I said that a minute ago, but without saying it quite this way, when you've got some good, tall, lanky, athletic guys in the backfield, they can make a 1 or 2 step mistake, and they can make it up.
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference. If you have some guys that are, they're just doing all they can do, there's no makeup speed. We've been fortunate, that we've
Especially
had
the last few years.
Yeah, our secondary the last few years. Even if we took the left step instead of the right step, we could always get back. And these guys, you can tell there's a lot of athletic ability in that backfield for MacArthur.
We were telling you earlier that Newcastle he's the defensive coordinator. His name's Bo Bradshaw. And he used to play here at Carl Albert. He just came by I don't know if you probably heard me saying something to him.
Yeah.
And anyway.
Now, Newcastle has got – I really want to see that. T.J. Bradford, who was a sophomore running back, and he was part of OSN's Newcomer of the Year and nominee. And, man, he was really, really toting the rock and very athletic.
Well, it looked like their quarterback.
Well, they got a new quarterback this year
Oh,
because
really?
he graduated.
Oh, okay.
So, you got welcome to high school football, right?
Right, right.
Now, I got a question for you after they kick this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start the second half right now, I guess, huh?
Yep.
With no time?
Another 12 minutes.
Okay, all right.
Yep. They're supposed to just let it run until we get into the 1 minute.
Okay, so a running clock. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. No, I noticed that, and this, we're just entertaining, having a conversation about football, but that OSU is doing the little decals on the back of their helmet to see if anybody wants to, donate to that kid or
I
the
didn't know
NIL.
Yeah.
hadn't
They're
seen
doing a
that.
QR code on the back of the helmet.
And you can
Yeah.
do that from home by on the
Right.
TV or in the stands.
Yeah.
And I think, and before I dismiss it immediately, a younger generation pays for people to watch videos. I mean, they're used to giving
absolutely.
tips, if you want to call it that.
Right.
Yeah.
Little money for excessive, whether you're a great video game player or whatever. So I'd say why not? Especially if it helps some of these kids that will not get really big NIL money.
Right. I like when I first heard about it, my first thought was, that seems a little hokey.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I've let it grow on me, and now I have to admit I'm wondering because Middale, Lawton Public Schools. You've got 3 high schools. We've got 3 high schools. You can't function on just the gate.
Right.
You can't. It's
No.
impossible.
No.
The football team actually funds almost all the other sports. Basketball and occasionally maybe baseball. Well, really not baseball because the gate isn't that big. Basketball is maybe one of the only other sports, at least at Carl Albert, that we actually can kind of see income from. We have a pretty good basketball crowd that comes. But football has to pay for everything else. And I'm wondering how far we are away from that same thing happening right here.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't go to the athlete. It would go to the
back
school.
to the program.
Yeah, it would go back to the school. But you could literally then support your grandson from North Carolina if that's where you live.
Well,
you could support anywhere, and we already have all these fundraising things that happen. Every sport has to fundraise, and we have all these fundraising things happen. And so I'm just beginning to think, well, I wonder when it's going to come to that, even in high school athletics.
Well, some of the things they've done that, when we were growing up, you sold beef sticks or candy bars or a little overthrown. But now they have those little, at least in Lawton, we do the cards, and the card sales.
We
is
do that
really
here.
nice. And, I love it because there's a lot of places I frequent, so the businesses benefit from it. So it's all those kinds of things. And the one thing that I didn't get, but the kids are already doing, is they'll get like 15 or 20 names on their list of calls, and you'll get a call out to say, hey, I'm needing some money for football this year. Would you like to donate?
So really, what's the difference in that and a QR code on their helmet?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
it's just
because you're asking family and friends. Now you're asking, hey, that kid that made that great interception,
right?
And you could say, hey, I want to reward that kid for that, or the program for that. It was nice. But yeah, I mean, you got to get creative and inventive. And I know ADs they struggle to find out, what can we do to. Because the cost of things, we already talked about the helmets earlier, I mean, how do you get the funds that you need to operate?
Right. Drops back to pass, going to throw a little fade down to the back of the end zone. Oh!
He had it.
I'll tell you.
He had it.
Speed kills.
Yep.
He should have had that one.
Yeah, it touched his hands.
That's a really good throw.
It
was.
I mean, I've been impressed, that you had to see him develop as a sophomore and you take your licks. I remember, I don't know, Coach Goff, if you agree with this, an old coach, I won't say his name because I didn't ask permission for this, but he said, for every sophomore you start was a loss.
Oh.
That's what he would always say. Now, that was back in the day when you didn't start.
Sophomore.
They're different now.
Yeah,
I mean, even college, who's redshirting these days?
Right.
I mean, kids will come in as freshmen and develop and play,
Right.
Yeah.
But back in the day, old school
Yeah.
was if you played a sophomore.
That's about right, yeah.
Well, and
Because of their experience or non-experience.
Really, back in the day, ninth graders had eligibility, but you rarely ever saw a ninth grader come up to the high school.
Watch out, boys.
Yeah. Over in the Carl Albert warm-up. Now, how many combinations of uniforms do you guys have?
Oh, my goodness.
'Cause I've noticed that you got your grays here, and I've
grays.
seen the reds and the whites.
And
whites.
That's
And the
three.
We have
whites.
do
you have a black?
And we have
Not a black, but it's
we've got a dark gray
Dark gray,
with
okay.
red letters that from up here you can't tell. Right?
Right.
Yeah, we love
That's
the
a
gray
touchdown.
and the red.
He was in.
Yep. We love the gray and the red, and I love the white ones. But that dark gray with the red letters, man, it's hard to see.
What I like about this is we spread the ball around and not went to number 2 the whole time.
Right.
You had Bo DeLong who got one at 17, then 2, and then you come back here to that's the third receiver with a touchdown. That's going to be an all-aerial assault. And the run game, not too bad.
No, it's good.
This is the most promising start I've seen in a while because, like I said, MacArthur had to take their lumps in the last couple of years.
And the ball is up, and it's good.
All right.
And MacArthur goes up 21-0,
Yeah, how
and
about
that
that?
was all on 3 passes. 3 long pass plays over the top.
Well, and the other thing is what he's got here that everybody's questioning about OU is he's got time to throw.
Yeah.
He's got an offensive line that's giving him the time to set up that throw because when you're throwing deep, you got to have a little bit of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So is the Sooners going to answer that question? I mean, I don't get to see him. There's closed practices. Is that O-line going to hold up in the SEC?
It's one of those things that, we deal with that here. It takes you a few games.
We didn't last year.
No, last year, of course,
That
we
was
had
a
a whole
different deal.
senior-laden group.
Yeah.
But it takes us a few games to get things going. And once we get them going, then, it works. And I kind of think the Sooners may be in the same boat. But that's the reason you're playing Patsies the first 2 weeks, I mean.
Beaton Bow is
he's the best.
Is as good as there is
Yeah.
in the college game.
And he has proven that he knows how to, build some players from the ground up. And they've gotten some great guys in now. It's just a matter of how well they play together. Of course, we stole one from Texas yesterday, is what I understood.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Boy, it's nice to steal from them, right?
Yeah, it's always nice to steal from Texas.
Whatever we can get. Yeah. Well, but they've done it to us, too.
Yes, they have.
It's been –
Yes, they have.
I think the biggest one that was to our advantage was AD. You just talked about him earlier.
Mm-hmm.
A Texas kid that, could have played there, and you look at a quarterback, too, who lived in Austin was shunned by, and he hates the word Texas.
Right.
And you miss.
Yeah, was even shunned by Oklahoma at that time.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
they didn't give him a
but went out to Texas Tech
yet.
and
yeah.
We're talking about Baker
Mayfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Handoff there is going to go around that left side. They're coming in quick and fast from that backfield, and they block him up there. About a 3-yard run, 2nd down and 7.
Yep.
I think that was where his animosity was so much against Texas.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of that. I mean,
absolutely.
That'd be like living in Norman and, being an OU fan all your life, and then, something happens where
you don't get chosen.
You don't get chosen.
Yep.
Well, football is back, and I can't wait. It's going to be a fun year, and the Sooners being in the SEC is going to be different.
Handoff up the middle. He gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. That was a linebacker coming up, and he just popped him. No gain on the play. He brings up 3rd down and 7.
The reason that a linebacker can make that play is because the front guys are demanding double teams and getting it.
Yep.
And they're not working off offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nobody's getting to the second level. Going to drop back to pass this time. Throws it across the middle. It's picked by number 13.
Good job.
Just stepped in front of that ball. And that's going to put MacArthur back on the field.
2 plays in the end zone.
You calling it?
Is that what you're
like
saying?
It. Yep.
All right.
Well, and isn't
Everybody
that the
get
old
their
philosophy
quarters
of
out here.
coaches? When you have a pick like that,
Yeah.
you go deep right now.
Yep.
I mean, you kind of
Yep.
they're stunned, they're back on their heels, and this is the time to test it out.
Well, and you got to ask yourself, and I don't know, you would know, is this the starters? I mean, is that the quarterback?
Yes, so far, yes. Okay. Yep, 6 is in.
Got the 2 tall receivers wide out to the right. One in motion, right to left across the formation. Handoff in the middle. He gets free. He cuts up and going to head to the outside.
Wow.
A good run there by number 4.
And they get to fake remember the old pop from MacArthur?
Yep.
They get to fake that there to Josh Rushing and come in motion here to the near side.
They'll pop it to him here before.
Yeah, I know.
probably
That's
not
you
now,
test the waters. Yeah, I know. It's coming. He'll get it.
Going to throw
There
it out
it
there
is.
to number 2.
That's Josh
Cuts up.
again.
Down to the 22-yard line. It's going to be enough for a first down there for the Highlanders. .5:13 left in this game. 2 men split wide to the right, 1 to the left, 1 man in the backfield. Going to hand it off there to number 0. And he's going to cut up. He's got some running room. He cuts back to the inside, gets across the 10, is down about the 7-yard line, maybe gets as far as the 6.
I would like to have a little bit more ball security there. The way he was holding it, they were kind of going for it, and you could get a strip there. But, how many times you say high and tight to a kid?
Right. First and goal at the 6. Handoff right up the middle. He's got a hole. He pushes through. Touchdown, MacArthur.
Sophomore may be in for a long year, y'all.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Well,
MacArthur's good.
and I don't want to get too overly excited because now the thing is with them, and this was a switch, Elgin gets dropped down to 4A from 5A, and so they were scheduled to play in the district. And then MacArthur already had a 0-week game. And then when the whole shuffle came out, and Coach was kind of dismayed a little bit because everybody was at that coaches meeting that they could say, hey, I need a game. Can you do it? He would have picked up one of these Edmond schools and something like that. So he was left with not having one. And Elgin was in the same predicament. So next week, Thursday, will be a rematch of the last 2 years for a rivalry that is recent with Elgin and MacArthur on next Thursday night. So you want to watch that one because that's going to be a good one because Elgin's going to be a power in 4A now. They're in a tough district, though. They got to play the Clintons of the world. They got
Tuttle.
Tuttle. Well, Tuttle's on the other
Blanchard.
side, but that's at the end if it gets in the playoffs. But in their district, they still got Weatherford and Elk City and Clinton and that and then the next night, going back to week one, like you guys have Midwest City week one.
Yep.
It is Lawton High and Eisenhower, which was always that week one game. But now that they're not in the same class, they can play that non-district game as the first. And I don't know about you guys, but so many alums will come back. They'll schedule their reunions around it, and they'll get their pictures taken. The class of whatever is here to watch this game. And
Yes, sir.
so it means a lot.
Yep.
To these inner city schools. So you know what the inner city rivals are. The only thing is I don't understand is you guys don't get Del City. No, this is the second year in a row you don't get them as a non-district game.
They don't want to play each other.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think they want
Unless
to.
it's a finals,
They want
right?
to wait until the playoffs.
Yeah. We get to see them. We
Yeah,
saw them.
no,
We
I
saw them
understand.
last year.
Yeah, I got you. You eventually got to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw them last year.
Well, and there's I don't know. They're such good friends, and it's such a big.
It's
such a big rivalry.
Right,
It
right.
is.
Yeah.
And,
It is.
It's just tough to play those guys.
Oh, I know. But you still get Midwest City.
Yeah, that's good.
A little rivalry there. And
Well, and I think Del City plays Midwest City too, don't they?
That I don't know.
that could be.
I think they do.
They did last year.
Yeah, they did last year.
Oh, man, he had him. What was the one thing I was going to mention? But it was good. The network has really benefited from a lot of great schools and programs. And then hats off to Midwest City winning a basketball state championship. So you had Carl Albert, who's won, Del City, who's won. I mean, they've all been up in that mix, whether it be football, basketball, baseball.
Right.
Carl Albert with baseball again. But beautiful night too.
Oh yeah.
Weather's perfect for this. You don't. No, I've jinxed it. You've not seen a lot of people with cramps. Or, I mean,
No,
you think they've been hydrated. They've been well conditioned to this point. There's a jailbreak blitz, flag on the play.
Yeah, Del City's going to play Midwest City in week 3, September 20th.
Get up, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Del City, they've got a nice schedule.
Who they play
They
Midwest City?
play Edmond Memorial for the first game, Booker T for the second game, Midwest City for the third game, and then they head into Collinsville, Memorial, Nathan Hale, Rogers, Tahlequah, Claremore, and Pryor.
And because they're part of our network, it's so weird me scheduling those streaming broadcasts because usually we don't see those teams until playoffs. But Del City has done that now 2 years in a row. No, 3. This will be the third
Their
year.
third year in the East. Yeah.
In the East, yeah. Mm-hmm. And, I guess Coach, he didn't mind it. I mean,
No.
And, for the district, you like it. Okay, you have district champion Del City over there in the East, and you have Carl Albert over here, then you have Midwest City over there. And I do like how coaches have a conscious effort to split up the the city rivals, you
Yeah.
know. And then everybody has a play. Because back in the day, they didn't have that. I remember Lawton High Eisenhower, they used to say would play at the last game of the season, and that was who would make the playoffs, you know, because they were in that boomer division,
Yeah.
you know.
I remember that.
1:22 left in this game, and then we'll move on to the next set of.
I've only heard those stories about how they wouldn't be able to sell eggs at the last week to teens. They couldn't.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what.
This generation doesn't know what eggs are
Well,
or toilet paper,
Del
the
City
trees, those kind of things. you know?
I grew up in Del City, and Del City, Midwest City used to be just a real battled
There
rivalry.
would be 10,000 or more.
Oh my goodness! And my brother's year, my brother's 6 years older than I am, but my brother's year, they went over and they poured gasoline in the middle of the field, D.C. They didn't set it on fire; they just poured it there.
Oh,
but then it
killed out the grass.
Yeah, it killed the
That's
grass out. There
All
was a
right.
D.C. in the middle of the field. So.
So is your brother to blame for that? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that, but I think that the culprits are still around.
My first year to coach at Del City is in '85, and
Got
Mike
a
Gundy.
change in at quarterback now, so
Yeah.
you got your wish. Starters have been pulled.
Well, it's 28-0.
I understand.
Yeah.
And in a scrimmage, oh, there's a flag. Well, I appreciate you guys letting me come in
thank
and
you.
chime in.
That's wonderful.
It was great, and,
Did a
and
great
best
job.
of luck to your season. And
Yeah.
as I told all of our schools, because there's 12 of them, I am your biggest fan. So even though I call a certain team, the network is so proud to have so many great programs, and we're glad that you guys are a part of it. And Kirk, all that you do here for Carl Albert.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Eric.
He does.
Thank you.
Mr. Carl Albert.
No, not really.
See you, Eric. See you. Well, this will be
Edmond Memorial and
and
Newcastle for the
Okay.
first 12 minutes, and then we'll get Newcastle Carl Albert for the second 12 minutes, and then we'll finish it out with Carl Albert and Edmond Memorial.
Okay.
So
That's how they did that.
I think that's the way it works. So that is a lot of ball players.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, you may have to push it. There, that's it. All right. Well, we've got a few minutes here, and then we'll.
Any more commercials you need to do?
Well, I think so. We'll just go ahead and we'll thank our sponsor for this evening, and hope that you'll always use the sponsors that are available. Well, we're back, and here's the kickoff with Edmond Memorial. And they'll be playing against Newcastle, so we're going to see hopefully a good kick here. Going to go deep, nice high kick. Going to get all the way back into the end zone. That's the way you like them.
Yep.
Edmond Memorial comes down quickly to the end zone. Coach Goff says that if you can kick it into the end zone.
Oh, man.
Right?
Big deal.
Yeah. 80% of the time it's hard to drive from the 20 out, right?
You don't make it all the way to the other end.
Right. So in this scrimmage, the ball is going to be placed on the 35-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Newcastle Racers. They've all got the soft helmets on. That was a gut play right up the middle. Picked up 3 yards on the play. Going to bring up 2nd down and 7.
What was it Eric was saying? Was he talking about the running back, how good he was? Was it
Yeah.
the running back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And they have a new quarterback.
Yep. 2 men split wide out to the right, 1 to the left. H-back with the halfback. It's going to be a keeper by the quarterback. He's going to go right up the middle. No gain on the play. He's going to bring up 3rd down. So it's 3rd down and 7 now for the Racers. This is their first possession of this 12-minute half. Going to be trips to the right this time. 1 man to the left. 1 back in the backfield. Quarterback tries to draw him offside with a big loud clap.
And he about did.
He just about did. He takes the ball from the shotgun position. He moves out here to the right, and he's going to get hit as he throws the ball. And that'll be 4th down for the Racers. So it looks like their intention here is to line up for the punt. And so Edmond will back off, and since they will not punt, they're going to move the ball 35 yards from the spot, and it will be Edmond Memorial's ball, the Edmond Memorial Bulldogs. So the ball is going to be placed down
20
at the 27. Is that what it looks
28?
like? 28.
One of them.
27. 1st and 10 for Edmond Memorial. 2 split left, 2 split right. 1 running back in the backfield with the quarterback. He takes the ball, hands it off to the running back. He hits right up the middle. That goes really nowhere. Maybe 1 yard gained on the play brings up 2nd down and 9.
In the rapid fire deal, I was looking at the interior people of Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'll be able to run up inside on them.
Yeah. That 73 and 77 are pretty stout young men. This time 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right, tight end on the left side. Back in the backfield. He's going to drop back to pass, throws it out in the flat. He catches it. And do they say he actually kept possession or not? Doesn't look like it, so it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
This quarterback from Edmond is a highly touted kid. I think, was it Eric was saying that he's going to, no, it's Kaysen.
Yeah.
Said he's going to Arkansas?
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Is that right?
I think that's right.
No, Kansas.
That's right, Kansas.
Yeah, because I was going.
Yeah, it was the kid on the MacArthur team that's going to Kansas or Arkansas.
Right.
Yeah. They're bringing the house. He's going to move out there to the outside, try to throw. He gets tripped up right there at the last minute. maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage before he falls out of bounds, and that's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down and 8. And so what will Memorial do? It looks like they're going to determine to punt as well. So they're going to move the ball 35 yards down the field. And Newcastle will be on offense.
So going back to the question of Sophomore, what's Edmond? Are they 6A too? Or are they 1?
Just a second, I'll tell you.
I bet they're 2.
So Edmond Memorial is 6A1.
1.
Yeah, 2,661 students. They're the largest of the 3 Edmonds. No, Edmond Santa Fe is the largest, then Edmond Memorial, and then Edmond North.
Okay.
But, yeah, they're 6A1. And so they're actually going to be playing in District 2 with Broken Arrow, Edmond Memorial, Edmond Santa Fe, Norman North, Owasso, Union, Westmore, and Yukon.
Well, they're running around and flying to the ball. That's good. I'm glad to see that because I don't think they've been much punking lately. They got a bunch of kids out. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Ton. As well they should.
Yep. Well, we were talking earlier, back in the day, when Edmond had 1 high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were pretty darn
They
good.
were studly.
Yeah.
That's when I was at Dell City. And
yeah.
Yeah, it was hard to play against.
Yeah. That's back when 4A was as big as it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Yeah. All right, loss on the play there. That takes it back 3rd down and 15. 3rd down and 14. 2 men wide to the left, 1 to the right, tight end on the right side. Quarterback's going to get out here in the outside. He's going to stop, try to throw the ball back across the middle. That's always dangerous. And it was this time. Picked off by number 4. They're going to blow the whistle.
He's excited.
Yep.
So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, if you intercept the ball, you can't run it back.
Right.
They're not going to let you run it back. And, again, a safety feature. A lot of things in a change of possession going down the field. People get blindside blocked and all that good junk. And anyway.
Well, the rule is if a quarterback throws back across the field, it usually doesn't end up well.
And that one didn't.
And that one did not. Now, it was downfield. There's an end around there. Ball is free. Picked up by an Edmond, the big boy, running down the field. Rumbling, bumbling down the field. That's a lineman's dream.
It is. I used to reward my defensive linemen if they did pick, not if they got a fumble, because they were supposed to get fumbled.
Right.
But if they got a fumble and went to the end zone, they got a steak from me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I gave away 2 in all my years of coaching defensive line.
1st and 10. The ball's at the 39-yard line. 2 men split wide to the right, 1 to the left. You know what we just saw?
I give up what?
So we were talking earlier about Bo Bradshaw being the defensive guy, and Newcastle just did that defensive line shift.
Jump.
Yep. And
they did a jump.
And we know
they got him.
Yeah, they did. We know where that comes from.
Yeah.
It's been used here at Carl Albert for years and years. And I can remember one state championship game back in 2012.
Bo was on that team.
Yeah, because he graduated the same year as my son. So I can remember on that state championship game that I kept saying, I don't think they'll fall for it again, and they just kept falling for it.
They did.
So,
and we were glad. Yep, we were glad. And then when they finally got one and where they didn't, they threw an interception.
Right.
Stevie Thompson
yeah.
picked it off.
It's amazing what sticks in your head.
You remember those good ones.
Yeah. That was in Stillwater. First and 10. He drops back to pass. Going to throw it, a lofting ball over the top. Beautiful catch. And they're going to call that a touchdown. I think it was. If we had an instant replay, I'm pretty sure that foot was in bounds.
Yep.
And a nice catch over the back shoulder. The way the wind's blowing, I thought it might have carried it out, but it didn't. So Edmond Memorial strikes first with 4 minutes to go here. And they're going to go for the extra point. You can see that there's nobody defending against it. Ball is down, the kick is up, and it is good.
Good kicker.
Yes, very good.
Very nice.
Nice high. Nobody's going to reach over the line and grab that.
I'm thinking that he might, if it's the same kid, which I think it is, he might kick it in the end zone.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a breeze.
A little bit. It's really moving right to left. The breeze is for them.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's not much in the face. You know, we were talking about getting out there on those special teams things, and there was a coach down here for Edmond Memorial that I could hear up here.
I think that's the head coach.
And his words were, "You've got to know what your job is."
Yes. Nope.
Well, that one's not going to make it all the way in. Well,
Oh,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it carried.
5 yards deep. He's got a good foot.
Yeah, he does. Again, big weapon.
Yep.
And we have a big weapon.
Yes, we do.
I think that we had two, the Spiewak kid
Yep.
and then the Gonzalez kid. Well, I think the Gonzalez kid is just going to play soccer.
Oh, okay.
It seemed like I heard that. I don't know if that's for sure or not, but which is a shame.
Yeah, he's not on the roster. I'm just looking. We've got 3 sophomores kickers.
Oh, yeah?
Welch, Patterson, and Floranda.
Well, Shane will make something out of one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Spiewak has been going to several camps, and he's been doing really well at some of these summer college camps.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the kid that was he went to church with us for a little while last year, and he's from Midwest City.
Yeah,
He was a kicker at Midwest City. And I think it was Jason, just when we were down at the OSN get-together
Mm-hmm.
last Thursday, that he said that he was kicking at OSU now.
Oh.
At least he was on the roster.
Yeah. Well, he could kick.
He could kick it. That was a definite.
A little pass out in the flat, one right over here. Good job. The passing game's coming alive now for Newcastle. That's the second pass in a row, one for a first down, one for 7 yards up to the 50-yard line, or the 45-yard line, excuse me.
Edmond will probably put a little stunt package on him here in a minute.
2 men to the left, one to the right.
There's one right there.
Going to keep it right up the middle. And a good play. He's just waiting for his blockers. Gets all the way down to the 25-yard line. Good run there by the quarterback.
Good run. And he's a new kid to this program, I guess. because they were saying that his predecessor had graduated.
He's one of the biggest kids on the
He
field,
is.
too.
And I noticed him in the rapid fire that he ran the ball pretty dang good. Boom.
Stepped up in the hole, throws it over the top. Great catch.
Touchdown.
Right over the top of the defender, and he's got the touchdown.
Great job by the quarterback. Took a little hit. He's all right.
Yeah, he stepped up there in the middle, and so he was in between the big boys. That's one of those times as a defender you just really got to get your head turned around.
I mean, he had him chest up.
Yep.
Never saw the ball. And he dropped it in the bucket.
Bucket, right. If there were a bucket,
Yeah.
he would have dropped it in it. 38's the kicker here for Newcastle. Ball is down. A little slow in the process. Gets it up, and it is good. And that ties the score 7-7 here with 1:56 left. The Titans look like they're ready.
So it'll be Carl Albert and who?
This next group then will be Carl Albert and Newcastle. Newcastle stays on the field. Carl Albert comes on.
That'll be interesting, old Bo. Because, I mean, it looks like they're running the same defense that we ran here when Bo was – Bo used to call all the defenses out on the field.
Yep.
John would
Call him from the
call
booth.
him from the booth, and then Bo would signal a deal.
Well, Newcastle comes out. We'll see what kind of kicker they have. This is a different kicker than did the point after try.
Yeah, a little bit smaller.
Yep. Maybe he's got a big old soccer foot.
Might have.
Kicks it down to about the 7-yard line. Ball's going to be placed out there at the 35, I believe. And that's where we'll start.
Minute 56 left. Edmond can move the ball pretty well. A good-looking little running back.
Mm-hmm. 2 men wide out to the right. Tight end on the left. Man in motion left to right. Going to hand it off to number 34. He's going to get around that edge and cut up. Maybe picks up a yard and a half. They're going to give him 2. He's going to bring up 2nd down and 8. One man wide to the right, 2 to the left. Man in motion left to right across the formation. He steps into that flanker position. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. 34, quick hitter. Picks up about 8 more on the play. Going to move the ball up to the 43-yard line.
He's pretty quick.
Yep. He's kind of got that little Quentin Griffin look to him.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's small, got those stoggy legs.
Yep.
Gets lost in the line.
Speaking of that, what's the new little running back from Choctaw's name? Remember?
Oh,
Simmons?
I
LT?
think LT Simmons. I think that's right. Okay. This time he gets up. He's going to get the first down. First contact was in the backfield, but he continues to scramble forward. He's going to come off. Two men left, 2 men right. Running back in the backfield with a quarterback. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. Going to move out to the left. There's a flag for holding. I saw that one.
You can't do that.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty definite.
13 seconds left.
So that's going to move the ball back and is going to make it 1st and 20. Trips to the right, one man to the left. Quarterback drops back to pass. He's moving out of the pocket. He's going to go across the line. He's going to get out of bounds. He's going to pick up about 9 yards on the play.
That's it.
And that's the end.
Well, that one ended up 7-7.
Yep. Oh, since it's a tie, they put 2 more minutes on the clock.
Oh, no, that's a halftime.
Oh, that's right. I even knew that.
2-minute halftime.
Yeah. 2-minute halftime. Edmond Memorial now is going to move off to the end down here on the south end zone. Carl Albert's going to come in. Newcastle's going to stay exactly where they are. And now it will be 12 minutes with Carl Albert and Newcastle.
So what's the delay on this? Is it 15 seconds?
Just a second, we can figure it out. So,
Is that in case we mess up?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's about 6 seconds.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't know what we're doing on Facebook Live, we're just trying to figure out what our delay is on Facebook Live. It's about 6 seconds. No, it won't help us if we mess up because there's no way to make it go away.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
going to just keep coming.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Oh, bother.
Right. Oh, bother. Well, it'll be interesting now to see Carl Albert in a live action against an opponent.
Yep.
We'll be able to give you some of these names.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Hope we pronounce them correctly.
Yeah, and if we don't, you just have to give us grace until we get it all figured out. Yeah, down at the bottom of my list, I actually have 3 people that are 10th graders that I have that they are wide receiver defensive backs. I have their height and their weight, but I don't have a name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So.
Are they on here?
No. 85, 86, and 87.
You're right. I don't have those numbers.
Yeah. And then I've got a 80 and an 81 and an 82, but again, don't have names, just.
Nope.
Anyway.
Well, I'll tell you, with Coach Farley coaching the kickoff return team, this is a weapon.
Yes. Well,
with 6 back there.
Right. Back deep right now, we have DeAndre Dukes, 5'10", 160. We've got Tristan Haynes in the middle, who is a threat every time his hands touch the ball.
Yep.
Number 6. And then we've got Christian Oku, who we talked about earlier, maybe one of the fastest players on the field. And we're not going to get a chance to see them actually run, but. So here's the kickoff. And that's going to be taken there by DeAndre Dukes at the 21-yard line. So the ball will be placed at the 35, where Carl Albert will have its first possession. And our first quarterback this evening is Devin Woodring, I believe.
Yep, I believe it is. And again, they'll have the quarterbacks for Carl Albert will have blue jerseys on just to help protect them a little
Right.
bit. And if they're running out there, then more power to them. But
Todd James wide to the right, and then the combination of Tristan Haynes and Trinae Washington wide to the left.
the tailback is number 16. He's pretty good, too.
Yep, that's Caden Davis, and he's going to take that, and he's going to run down the field, and he's not going to get caught. First play from scrimmage, touchdown, Carl Albert.
You know, we talked about how he is pretty good, and he will be an outstanding middle linebacker.
Yes.
But
And he loves to hit.
he loves to hit, and he also ran a 10-something, 10-9, 10-8, 100 in track this year.
Right.
Which means he's pretty fast, too.
Yeah.
And as Coach Norman likes to say, he's tougher than a bus station steak.
There you go. He is tough. The kid's he's a great kid, and he's very tough. And as I said earlier, he's really taken on a role of leadership on this team, and he's raising the guys around him as well. There's a lot of athletes on this team, and but being an incredible athlete and being an incredible leader,
that helps.
It makes a team.
Well,
yeah.
it does. Well, let's see what Speedwalk can do.
Yep. He just put one through, so that'll be 7-0 for the Titans. And that whole thing took about 28 seconds. No, 18 seconds.
18 seconds.
Yeah, I got my 60 and my 42 mixed up. Lawton Public School buses are headed out.
They're leaving now.
Yep.
LPS.
I think this must be in honor of Coach Rollins. They had to have the referee had to blow his whistle 4 times to get a kicker out there.
Our guys aren't going out.
No, they're just gonna let him kick.
Well, is it my imagination? Does he look taller?
Well, he's just tall.
He's just tall?
Yeah.
Well, he's not taller.
Yeah, he's 6'4".
Well, that ain't going
Nice
to
and
make it.
high kick. Goes down to about the 4-yard line. If you're not going to make it to the end zone, you definitely want it high because we got to have time to run under it.
That's right. And we got enough speed to get down there.
Yep.
35, boys.
Yeah, he and Trinae Washington are the 2 tallest guys, and Maddox Wilkerson.
Well, and Trinae is the punter.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a sonic boom every time he punts it.
A boom. Boom. All right, so Carl Albert's now on defense.
Todd James is one of the safeties. Trinae Washington is one of the safeties. DeAndre Dukes is his corner. And number 6. What's that kid's name?
Tristan Haynes.
Tristan Haynes.
The guy that just ran for the touchdowns out there at linebacker.
Yeah.
Caden Davis. Newcastle comes out 1 man wide to the left, 2 to the right. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and he's going to get taken down there by number 77. That's
Hill.
Big boy.
Nick Hill.
Yeah.
6'1", 300.
Picks up 3 yards on the play, though. Brings up 2nd down and 7.
Well, you look out there from linebacker to linebacker on the other side, and they're 2 of them are 6'3".
Mm-hmm. Me pass out here in the flat, or pushing him back. He's going to come down. That's going to be a loss of 1 on the play.
23, Carl Young.
Yeah.
On the play. He's one of the outside linebackers.
6'4", 205.
I was going to say he's 6'4".
Yeah.
And then you get Trinae, and he's 6'4".
Yep.
And you got Tristan, and he's 6'2".
3rd down and 8. 2 men wide to the left, 1 man to the right. Everybody's looking to the sideline, see what they need to do.
This is Jackson. Jackson's playing linebacker.
Yep.
Boom.
Quarterback hands it off in the middle, and that gets picked up there by number 57. That's Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas.
A junior, 5'11", 210.
His motor runs too. It's a lot like number 16's, but not quite. Not quite as much.
Well, that's going to move the ball down 35 yards, and Carl Albert to take the offense again. They've had one play from scrimmage, and that was a 65-yard touchdown from Caden Davis.
Well, I bet Brandon throws the ball a little bit this go around.
Yeah, he'll probably.
Devin Woodring in at quarterback. He's looking, throws it over here to number 5. That's DeAndre Dukes. And he's going to pick up the first down. No, Todd James. That's not DeAndre. That was Todd James with the reception.
Yeah. Number 5, Todd James.
Yep.
DeAndre's 8.
Yep.
3's in at running back. That's the LT kid.
That's
right?
LT Simmons, senior running back, 5'6", 185.
Transfer from Choctaw.
2 men wide to the right, 1 man to the left. Woodring takes a snap. He's going to drop back to pass. He's got time. Throws it long down the field to number 7, just like we called it.
Good throw.
That's Trinae Washington doing the little switcheroo there, catching it on the back shoulder, going out of bounds.
It looked like a back shoulder throw. Now, I don't know that Devin meant to do
I don't think that was meant that way,
but
but it sure looked good.
It sure did look good.
We can call it a back shoulder catch.
Yeah.
Ball goes down to the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. Trips to the right. Tight end on the left side.
Oh, they got us.
Yep. They got us on our own play. They got us on the jump play.
Attaboy, Bo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it worked against Edmond, so why wouldn't it work against us? And it sure did. 5 yards back, takes it 1st down and 15.
And that's a good thing that for Coach Madden to be able to
Absolutely
work with those guys on. You know, it's you don't look at their movement.
Nope.
You listen to your count or the ball movement.
Woodring takes a snap. He drops back to pass. He's got time. Throws it a little slant across the middle. Little inside screen there. And he's going to push his way down inside the 15-yard line. He is quick as a hiccup.
He's pretty quick.
Yeah.
I
That's
thought he'd thrown it into a bunch of nothing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he comes out and
comes
he's
flying
gone.
across. Yeah. That's a Goffism, as quick as a hiccup right there. Trips to the left. 1 man in the backfield. Woodring's going to keep it. He's going to cut around the right side. He's going to get down just outside the 10. And so the ball's going to be at the 11-yard line. That's enough for the Titan 1st down. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 just outside the 10. So they can pick up a 1st down without getting the touchdown. Got Todd James, Tristan Haynes on the left, Trinae Washington to the right. Tight end on the right side. Woodring takes the ball. He's going to go left.
Matthews.
He cuts up the middle. He's got open pathway. Touchdown, Carl Albert.
Look at old Devin Woodring running through the ball.
Yeah.
How about that? Had a boy.
Well, Carl Albert, on their first play from scrimmage, scored from 65 out, and this time they drove the ball down the field. And this is their second score. Woodring takes it in from 11 yards out.
Jake's going to hold.
Jake Farley
is the holder.
Number 0.
Put your mouthpiece in, Jake.
Yep. Ball is down. Kick is up.
Woo.
Farley barely got it into position, but he did. And
Four snap.
Spiewak puts it through. Nope. Went off to the left.
Did it?
Yep.
Oh, I'll be darned.
They're telling him to keep the clock running. Don't know why. There's no sun up in the sky. Stormy weather.
Stormy weather.
Well, the referees are having a debate down on the end. This is when I wish I had my Jeopardy music.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
They
dun,
might want to get
dun,
home.
Dun, 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 dun,
That's why they want the
dun, 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 dun.
clock to run. We're going to forego the kick.
Yep, just go ahead and put them on the 35 and let's get it going. So Newcastle, they're on offense. One man wide to the left, 2 to the right. Handing it off in the backfield. He's going to go right up the middle. We saw that play earlier. Is good for 3. He's good for 3 now, too. Brings up 2nd down and 7 for the Racers.
So they're over in the district with McGinnis, Midwest City, Mac. Is that correct?
I'm looking here. Yep. That's right. McGinnis, Klassen, Duncan, Guyman, MacArthur, Midwest City, Newcastle, and Southeast.
Joe Thomas in on that last tackle again, playing the defensive end position. Looks like we're going to stay in pretty much a 4-man front.
Yep.
For those of you who have watched Carl Albert, this is a 4-2-5. They ran a Tex stunt.
Actually, that was a very good catch right there.
Really good.
By number 4. And defended there.
Very good throw.
Yeah, very good throw. Defended there by DeAndre Dukes. Again, we talked about that with Memorial. You have to turn your head around.
Yeah.
If you don't turn your head around, you don't know where the ball is. And they're going to go quick. Going to be a toss there. Number 8. Got to catch the ball before you run. So that was 8 on 8. DeAndre Dukes with the defense there.
Darian Thomas, a linebacker, number 32, is in now.
Ball is at the 42-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Sophomore, by the way.
2 men wide to the left, 1 to the right. Man in motion out of the backfield. Moving to the left. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to kick it up there. Tackled there by Caden Davis.
He's a good – the quarterback's a good runner.
Yes, he
really
is.
That'll enhance their little running back better.
5 yards picked up on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 5 for the Racers. Ball is there at the 37. They need to reach the 32 for the first down. Trips to the left. Tight end on the right. The Racers pull up to look. Ball is snapped. Carl Albert brings him, and he's not going to make much. Maybe a yard picked up on the play. Takes the ball down to the 36-yard line, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 4.
That stunt that you just saw is called tens.
Mm-hmm.
The tackles, well, I take it back. It was tots. The tackles line up in 2 techniques and slant out.
Slant.
And both linebackers come inside in A-gap. So it's an A-gap, B-gap stunt.
2 men wide to the right, 2 men to the left.
It works against the run.
This time he's going to drop back to pass. He's looking. He's going to throw it over there. Picked up!
My goodness.
And he's running down the sidelines, and he won't be able to go all the way. But that was a pick there by Trinae Washington, and that's the reason he's being he's signed on the dotted line for the University of Oklahoma. You can go his way a couple of times, but you're not going to go his way every time.
Robert Epperly.
Yep. Got a text from him.
Thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Oh, he's there. He's here.
Yeah, he's here. Well, he was here a while ago. The sun was out when he was here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, thanks for texting us, Robert.
Yeah. We enjoy those.
So Carl Albert will go 1st and 10 now. The ball is at the 40-yard line. That's where Washington picked the ball off. One man wide to the right, two to the left.
I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know if you saw it, but on the return,
Woodring's going to go deep down the field, and that's going to get picked by a Newcastle racer. That's number 5. Woodring underthrew it just a little bit, and that was intended for Jackson Webster, sophomore, 5'10", 180. And
Coach Johnson's talking to him right now.
Yep.
Best time to do it. And Brandon is so good at coaching those kids, working them.
Yeah, if I wish we could. I wish our cameraman. I wish we had his headset on him because I'd actually have him pinpoint down there on Brandon and Woodring. So because Woodring responded back to Brandon, Coach Johnson, for a second, and so Coach Johnson went ahead and explained it to him a little bit more.
Yeah, and
yeah.
He's very good at
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. He'll give you the whys.
He's a lot more patient than the guy sitting next to you. Was.
Yeah,
and his voice isn't like mine.
Right. One of the things that's so amazing about Brandon Johnson is he can explain it 5 different ways. So
yeah, you had him. Ooh, get you some.
Yep. The great tackle there by DeAndre Dukes.
And hanging on was
that was number 57 again.
Yeah.
That's Joe Thomas, and DeAndre understands what it means if your legs aren't on the ground, it's hard to run.
Who's 58?
57.
I know, but who's 58?
58 is LeBron Royale.
Yeah, he was close too.
Yep. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Going to get taken down right there. They get the first down picked up. That was a tackle there by number 22, Bo Davis.
Bo didn't close hard enough.
Nope.
If he'd closed just a little harder, he'd have hit it right in the mouth.
Newcastle's going quick. 2 men wide to the left, 1 man to the right. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to throw it across the middle. Great catch. Almost a great catch there by number 4 again. He had his hands on it, but he could not pull it in.
He's good.
Yep.
That'll
He's
help.
not very big, but he's got good hands, and he's
that'll
quick.
help.
Yeah. 2nd down and 10 now. Newcastle's going quick. 2 men wide to the left, 2 men to the right. 1 man in the backfield with the quarterback. He drops back to pass, throws it out here in the flat, and that's a great tackle there. DeAndre Dukes again.
Jackson Vineyard on that tackle, too.
Yep, and Vineyard. Vineyard 6'1", 220. He did a lot of that's what it says on here. It says Jackson Vineyard 6'1", 175. 220 is Marcus James. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because when I saw Jackson come out and swim, he didn't look like he was 200.
Nope.
Good run there by the quarterback. Just gets outside the pocket, and there's nobody there. He's chased out of bounds there by Jackson Vineyard. 32 seconds left.
Don't let him score, boys.
2 men wide to the left, 1 to the right. Going to drop back to pass. He's looking. He's going to throw downfield. There's nobody there. He was trying to throw it over to number 43, and he was covered there by Todd James, but the ball floated on out of bounds.
We need to do a little bit better job on the ends of containing the quarterback and making him pull up to throw it. And then you still got a chance to smack him.
26 seconds left. Second down and 10. Ball is still at the 44. Trips to the left this time. Tight end on the right side. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. This time we did have containment.
Good job. Joe did a really good job. He had a choice. He could take the running back or the quarterback, and he took the running back and let the troops come on and get some.
LeBron Royale comes up a little gimpy, but he's good.
Yeah, this one will be deep if they get him.
This time he drops back to pass. Going to throw it over here to the sidelines. Knocked out of bounds there at the 39-yard line.
Quarter.
And that's the end, where the Titans lead 13-0. And so we'll have
2 minutes.
Yeah, we'll have 2 minutes, and then we'll come back with Carl Albert on the field with Edmond Memorial. Newcastle is headed to the bus.
Well, they're going to go get something to eat.
Yep.
I know, those boys.
This will be our final 12 minutes here with Carl Albert and Edmond Memorial.
I figured you'd be gone.
He has to take that computer.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with you here in just a moment on your Carl Albert Titan Oklahoma Sports Network. We're back with you here. This is Carl Albert against Edmond Memorial in the final 12 minutes of our scrimmage. Edmond Memorial is going to have the ball first here at the 35-yard line. Carl Albert's in a four-man front. 2 men wide to the left, 2 men to the right. Going to drop back to pass. He's going to back up, a little screen pass out there. He gets pushed away. He's going to move up across the 45, falls forward to the 49.
Now, there's a drill that we used to use, and the defensive lineman will run that drill quite a bit this week. If it's easy, it's cheesy.
Right.
Which means if you're turned loose, which they were, at least one of them was.
Yep.
Then you need to stop and drop back.
No pressure, beware.
And it's hard for a kid that's, he's
because you're headed in.
First time in,
yep,
and all that stuff.
1st and 10, the ball's at the 49-yard line. Drops back to pass, going to throw out there in the flat. Got a little pick off there. That number 2 is doing a great job at keeping that linebacker from coming across.
Yep.
Another 10-yard play there for the Bulldogs. That moves the ball down to the 39-yard line. 1st and 10 for Edmond Memorial. Two men wide to the left, one to the right. He's going to push over there to the right side. That time he's going to get caught.
Who was that?
That's number 9.
Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah Matthews.
He was playing corner. I didn't realize he was corner because that was they were playing halves, and he's a stay-at-home corner. And
1 yard. Yeah, he did. 1 yard picked up on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 9. 2 men wide left, 1 to the right. Quarterback takes the snap. He drops back to pass. He's going to throw it out there across the middle again, or actually to the right side. That time he threw it wide, incomplete.
That was a timing route.
Yep.
Because the ball was gone before that kid was
ever made the cut. Yeah. Covered again there by Elijah Matthews. Elijah's a sophomore, 6 foot 170.
My wife had him in class when he was a little kid.
2 men split to the left, 1 to the right. 3rd down and 9. He's going to drop back this time, pushing out here to the left side.
Boom!
He's looking up. Keep on him.
Boy.
Keep on him. He's just going to throw it out to nowhere. There we go. Good job there by Joe Thomas.
Yeah. He got turned loose, and he was a man on a mission.
Yep.
But need to be under control a little bit more.
Right. 4th down and 9. And we'll see what Memorial chooses to do. They're in Titan territory, so there's no reason not to go ahead and line up and see what happens.
Yeah, might as well.
The officials were actually talking amongst themselves about intentional grounding, but nothing was ever called. So the ball's going to be placed out there on the right hash, 4th down and 9.
I wonder what John will dial up. I wonder if he'll dial up some kind of zone blitz or something.
2 men split left, 2 men split right. Close formation. He's going to drop
no.
back to pass. He's looking up. He's going to look downfield. He's going to throw it. He's got a man wide open downfield at the 3-yard line. They let him get behind. When the quarterback came out,
Yep.
Our defensive backs held up.
Good teaching point.
Yep. And you got to stay with your man. The ball is going to be placed at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal. This is a pretty good running back or pretty good quarterback. You may think he's just going to take it in. But number 34, if you remember, he's the one we said kind of like Quentin Griffin. It's going to be a handoff to him. Touchdown, Edmond Memorial. So Edmond Memorial draws first blood against the Titans. 7 minutes and 46 seconds left. So they burned up almost half.
That was a good play on the quarterback and a really good play on the receiver.
Mm-hmm. Keep running.
Turning it back. It was an out route initially.
Yep.
Called a chain route, which means you get past the chain and you turn it out. And then quarterback kind of said, hey, why don't you go up that way?
Go the other way.
And he did. And there it was.
Point after try is good, 7-0 now with 7:46 left.
I think they want the offense.
Yeah, I think so. Ball's going to be at the 35-yard line. Temperatures drop down to 81 degrees. We've still got a nice breeze. Having a little hard time getting the offensive line on the field.
Well, these are backups, Coach.
Yep. Got our new quarterback in.
Holding.
Yep. Yeah, when it comes out like that, you know it's pretty much. Daniel Newton is in at quarterback.
Face mask against us. Huh. Yeah. I used to tell Coach Rose, don't have them put their hands on us.
Yeah.
Cruz Hudson just got
Yeah.
replaced, number 50.
He went in, he came out. Joe Thomas took his place. Second down, or it's first down and 15 after the face mask penalty. 2 men wide to the right, 1 to the left. Newton fakes the ball, and it's just covered up. Elijah Esparza, sophomore, he was driven back into the play. But that's why we're out here. I mean, that's what we do. That's what you got to do.
Yep. What is a second down and 25 call? Or 30?
You got to use your big one. You got to use like a ladder call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Newton takes the ball. He drops back to pass. He's going to move out of the pocket. He's going to beat that man. And
gained a lot.
Yep. He picked up about 17, I'm thinking. Maybe it's got to be because they were caught in the backfield. I didn't add it up. It was first down and 25, and then it was about second down and 27. So he picked up about 17 on the play. Third down and 10 now. So picked up a lot of it. We still have Tristan Trernay. Todd James is in. Ball is snapped back to Newton. Newton's looking up. He's going to throw that screen across the inside. And he's going to get up. He's got that first down and more. And he's got blockers. And I don't think you're going to touch him. Bye-bye. Touchdown, Carl Albert.
That's a weapon.
There's a flag down deep. Not sure what that's about. I didn't see. That little tunnel screen that's just deadly.
Yeah, especially to him.
Yep.
Or Tristan. Or, no.
Trernay.
That was him.
Yeah, that's why I say. Or Tristan. So I'm not sure. Right. Again, it's a scrimmage for the refs as well.
Yeah.
And
Mike and Cam are out there listening.
Yeah, they're listening in. We need to get them a mic. Yeah, so when they walk out there to listen in, we can know what's going on. It could be as much as, do you think Whataburger's still going to be open when we're done here?
Do what?
Okay, so they called a block in the back down at the 2-yard line. Is that what they called?
I'm assuming.
That's what he showed. So that would mean it would be from the spot of the foul, and they're going to move it back 10 yards. It's still first down.
Yeah. Be on the 12.
Yep. So the ball is placed on the 12-yard line, and since they've got to get the chains down there. It's not first and goal from the 12. Trips to the left. Newton takes the ball. He's going to go right. He's got a little running room. He gets across the 5. Ooh. He pushes down, and they're going to call him down at the 1-yard line. It's going to be second down, or actually it'll be first down and goal at the 1.
I wonder if they have a heavy package with this group.
Well, nah, if we did, I don't think we'd show it.
I bet number 16 is the heavy running back.
Yeah.
I'll bet you. Do it again.
Yeah. He's a runner. He's going to hand it off to Caden Davis. Caden's going to push forward. I don't think he got there. He got awfully close. It's going to be second down and goal from the 1 foot line. Trinae Washington, Tristan Haynes wide to the left, tight end on the left side. Actually, it's a double tight end set. This time, he's just going to run up the middle, and it's a touchdown, Carl Albert.
Yep.
Newton takes it himself, just pushes with the line. And Carl Albert is going to have the opportunity to tie it up right here with 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go. Farley's the holder. Spiewak is the kicker. Ball's down, kick is up, and it is good.
Very nice.
Coach Looney's doing some coaching down there.
Yep, he is.
That's what we need to be doing.
Yeah. I think he's just a sophomore. 74.
Junior, Zach Nelson.
Good looking kid.
6'4", 265. Yeah, he is a good looking kid.
I don't know what he did. But he got told it was not right.
There you go.
Yep.
So Edmond Memorial comes back on.
We don't have anybody in the secondary that's was there before.
We've got a lot of fresh faces in there right now.
A lot.
Jackson Webster.
Is that 10?
So yeah, sophomore, 5'10". Got Jake Farley.
Yep. That's what these are for.
Yep. Christian O'Coos over here on this side.
Yep.
Got Darian Thomas, sophomore, in at linebacker. Bo Davis in there. Fade all the way down. Oh, yeah.
Christian, don't do that.
Don't do that, Christian. Act like you've been there. Pass out here in the flat, and it's going to be defended there by number 32. That's a first down. Darian Thomas, sophomore.
Yeah.
5'10", 175. First and 10, 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. Ball's at the 46-yard line. On the inside right now is Kathan Parushi and also Nick Hill.
Those guys will get a lot of time
Yeah.
playing on the defensive side of the ball. And both the defensive ends are.
Quarterback takes the snap, hands it off to the running back, and he's going to get taken out there. That's a good play there by number 59, Kathan Parushi.
I think it's Kathan, but.
Okay, Kathan. Kathan?
I think that's what John told me.
Kathan Parucci.
Sounds Italian.
I wonder if you roll the R or not. Parucci. Lots of backups in. Second down and 10. 1 minute and 50 seconds to go. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast that we've had this evening. You've seen a lot of teams, a lot of football, and just gives you that taste of what it's going to be like come Friday nights.
Oh!
And the defense pushes all the way back into where the quarterback is. And Great job there by these group of seconds, mostly sophomores that are in there right now. That was number 58, LeBron Royale, who's a junior. I mean, Memorial's got some backups in as well.
Yeah,
this is not the same quarterbacks, not the same running back.
No, it's not.
Whole different line. Trips to the right, one man to the left. Going to drop back to pass. Going to throw a little screen out there. Oh, just missed him. And he's going to pick up the first down and get knocked out of bounds across midfield.
That'll be a good teaching tool.
Actually, they're not going to say he got the first down. They're going to place the ball on the 45-yard line where he stepped out of bounds, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 1. And Memorial's going to obviously go for this. 53 seconds to go in the game. They're going to line up and run it. 2 men to the left, 1 man to the right. Takes the ball, hands it off up the middle. No good. Carl Albert, turnover on downs with 48 seconds left.
LT Simmons on the tackle.
Yep. Got that second group of linemen back in. All new receiving corps. So this is Byron Stubbs, Christian Oku,
Number 10,
Jackson Webster.
Jackson Webster.
Takes the ball, throws it out in the flat, hits Jackson Webster. Pickup of about 7 on the play, maybe 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4 for the Titans. 34 seconds left. 2 men wide left, 1 man right. Tight end to the right side. Going to throw, underthrown, intended for Webster, who was running down in the post pattern down the right side. Third down and 4, 24 seconds left. Two men wide left, 1 man right. Nelson takes the ball, drops back to pass. He gets rushed, and he's taken down for about a 10-yard loss. Going to make it 4th and 13, and the clock continues to run.
They brought the house on
and
that one.
Yeah, that should be the end for this game. We hope you've enjoyed our presentation this evening. If it does anything, maybe it just wets your whistle for the possibility of what happens in a week. Carl Albert will be playing next Thursday night against Sand Springs here at Jim Harris Field and Gary Rose Stadium. And we will be here broadcasting that next Thursday evening. We hope that you will be here. The time of that game is actually, currently, it is set for 5 o'clock. So that's what it said on the schedule. We'll update you throughout Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and let you know when that is going to happen. So we thank you so much for this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network. We hope you've enjoyed some of the things you've seen. And thank you to all the teams that came here for this Titan Invitational and this round robin of scrimmages. We hope you have a great evening, good night, and God bless.